Welcome back to Derailed. I'm your host, JJ Lahey, here with my co-host, Jake Schyvinck. How you doing today, Jake?
I'm good. 19 days to the opener. The summer air seems to be leaving us a little bit over the next
we had
week and a half. So
had a high of 72 for this week where I live. So that's pretty nice. A lot better than the 90s we were getting.
Yeah. You start to feel it. We are almost there.
I see that the chat is talking about Alien Earth. I saw the first episode last Tuesday night after the live stream. No. Wednesday. I watched it Wednesday night. Really love it. But I'm a big Alien fan. So I think that you could enjoy it without having seen any of the other ones. But definitely it's geared to, cater to the people, do some service to the fans of any of the movies. So, it's pretty good though.
Hulu.
So
Okay. I was trying to
such
figure
an
out
interesting
where to watch.
idea. Basically having super soldiers with the minds of children. What could go wrong? Yeah, basically. I haven't seen the second episode yet because I decided I'm going to space them out 1 week at a time. Make it last longer because I have such a problem with binging shows. I do that every time, so I'm trying to stretch it out. So tomorrow night or maybe late tonight if we don't go long on here, but who am I kidding? We always go long on here.
Yeah. Yep. I'm pretty much banking on tonight being a late night, no matter what. So,
12 for the said between the show and Romulus, Alien is doing reboots right. Is it a reboot? I didn't think it was a reboot at all. But what do I know? Maybe I'm not far enough along into the show. Romulus, I didn't see how that was a reboot at all. That seemed like it. Here's what I'll say that I appreciate about both Romulus and this one is in both of them, they do like the retro futurism, kind of like they did in Fantastic Four. So it creates kind of a nice continuity with the original Alien movie, so that the look of it is still the same, and the tech and like even the fashion, the clothes everybody wears is still the same. Did your kitchen catch on fire?
the fridge door was open.
I don't know if anybody else.
So,
does anybody else experience where at different times of the year your fridge won't close all the way on its own? Like for us in the winter, fridge closes no problem. In the summer, it always like swings back open. We have to go push it in and hold it for a second.
There's something with the air. Those much smarter than me would know. But there's something to that, yeah.
You know who I feel like could answer that question for us is Chris Jacomette.
That's probably true. It's a good point.
I do have our Mark Murphy Minute.
Excellent.
This is where we touch on news of the week and how it relates to your life and the Packers. This is brought to you by our very own Mrs. Lahey. Mrs. Lahey says, Starbucks is bringing their fall drinks back within the next week. So you're going to get your pumpkin spice everything. They have a toasted pecan something or another. And you know what? Hey, that just means that football is here. So I'm excited for it because when you start seeing pumpkin spice everywhere, that means the Packers are coming back. That means football is back.
It's true. Have you heard?
Drew said, I went to Denny's and they already have their entire fall menu. What in the world is a fall menu at Denny's? What do they have at Denny's?
Pumpkin pancakes.
Pumpkin. There you go.
For sure.
Maybe your coffee tastes like burnt leaves. The
That's
apple
possible.
cider.
Yes.
Apple cider sausage.
It's
apple
true.
cider bacon.
That's true.
Drew says hot air causes things to expand. Tool for this says JJ is experiencing atmospheric pressure. Call me fat. You call me fat? Tool for this? Tool for this says soon, and Musgrave does fall soon. Yes, that's true. Okay, here's a clarification on the Denny's fall menu: pecan pie and different kinds of pancakes. All right. I don't know. I think I've been to Denny's in my life. I have definitely been to IHOP quite a few times. Been to IHOP. Tool for this says Caribou Coffee, where I work, launches their fall products this week. I don't have a problem with this because we are at the end of August, and like I think I expect to walk into a store at the beginning of September and see fall stuff everywhere. So this is
100%.
Now it's when it's mid-September and we start seeing Christmas stuff up. That's when I think we're a little out of control.
The problem is I've seen some pumpkin stuff out in early July, and it's like, okay, hold on. It's July like 8th. I don't think so, buddy. But like if we're in mid-August, like especially the further north you go, like the fall air. I mean,
and I'm considerably further north than you, I think. And I would say right now it's still solidly summer air out there. There's nothing fall at all. All the leaves are completely green. It's sticky and hot. Dershel says, sorry I'm late, but I'm a pumpkin spice fella. Here's my problem with pumpkin spice. It gives me heartburn. Not much gives me heartburn, but pumpkin spice lattes do. So my wife gets me pumpkin spice lattes occasionally, because she'll go to Starbucks and get her thing. And so she'll bring me back a latte. And I really appreciate the thought. And it does taste really good, but, I start feeling terrible after just a little bit. So that's my problem. Wolfus says I'm more of an apple cider guy. Okay, so Tool for this says, not a fat joke, was commenting on your fridge's self-closure capabilities. It's not AI. I didn't think it was. It's how temperature alters pressure and expansion within the atmosphere. All right. Well, now we know. Drew says pumpkin spice is good in small doses, but it gets old when everybody is doing it. See, but here's the thing: I don't partake of everybody. I got my redacted energy. Okay, they don't have a pumpkin spice flavor.
We should.
There's very, very few things out there in the world that I partake in. I watch football. That's one of the few ways that I partake in the world.
And the bread and circuses.
Do a little bit of traveling. Bread and circuses, yeah.
Some things never change.
Spice bread with a cinnamon glaze is the move.
Please post that recipe in the comments, Dershel. That sounds lovely.
Yeah, that sounds. Or if you have,
I'll take that. I'll take that instead of Venmo.
I'll put it on screen.
You send that instead of Venmo. I'll do a mock draft. I don't care. You send that sucker over. We'll do a mock draft just for you.
Drew said, what do you think about the Vikings cheerleader controversy? I actually have, because somebody sent me a link earlier. I have the video. Do you want to see this? Jake, have you seen this video?
Yeah, several times.
You have? Okay, I'm going to play it for the people. Actually, I'm a little bit nervous about my internet speed here, if this is actually going to work. I don't know why this week and last week I've been having internet.
It's the fall air.
Speed issues.
It's the atmospheric pressure, man. Things are going on.
I'm a little bit curious. If I just do this, can I just download the video and upload it to our streamer? I can.
Good.
I can. No. And so then we don't have to worry about trying to stream it from.
There you go. Okay.
And then there's the upload button. All right. So we'll look at this, and then Jake and I will share our thoughts on this. I have a thought.
I have simply one,
all right.
And I don't think it's that exciting. So,
look, the people are looking. You can't be.
The people are looking for exciting.
Well,
if you need that, get out of here. Go to watch Colin Cowherd and the guys at ESPN, and you can do that. I think. If that's what you're looking for.
I just uploaded it the wrong way. Re-uploading it, and
the only outrage around here is when the Packers drop the football. That's when you get the mega outrage around these parts. Okay? Just saying.
All right, here's the video. Minnesota Vikings debut new male cheerleaders during preseason game 2 versus the Patriots. I will say, this guy is giving it his all. That is a lot of, I don't know, I gotta get the weird reaction.
Yeah, this might be the worst part of the video, bro.
Okay, but let me just say, he is giving like 100% effort, and I respect that. He has way more confidence than I could never go out and do this, ever. Jewel says, I get outraged when Luke Musgrave sees the field.
That's accurate.
So,
we just block
all right. So,
one time. Stay
Jake,
on your feet,
your
bro.
take on this is that you think people just want to be upset for no reason, right?
I think people, I think as a society, we like to look for stuff to be upset about. More so than not. Which, you know, hey, if you want to live that way, that's up to you. You know? Doesn't this I'm not moved. If somebody's pursuing what they want to do, heck yeah. Get after it. Give 100%. Succeed. That's good by me. That's good by me.
My stance on this is I don't want cheerleaders, period. I don't enjoy seeing people dancing in front of me while I'm trying to watch a football game. Like, please, I'm appreciative that the Packers don't do cheerleaders, so I almost never have to think about cheerleaders. This to me does not add
the
to
drum
the game.
lines. Absolutely, yes. Was the Tundra line cool? Yeah. Is that more interesting? Absolutely, no question. But yeah.
Bruce, I'm trying to figure out.
It's Ja hovering over Jeddas.
Trying to figure out how. I will say the face on this guy that we're watching here. You see his face right there? He looks a lot. Not this guy. Come on, go back.
Who?
Dang it! Why is it stuck on this? Okay,
it seems to get stuck on.
He looks a lot like Kirk Cousins. He's got like the Kirk Cousins haircut and color.
He does have that sort
look at his face. It's like a way less buff Kirk Cousins. If Kirk Cousins never went to the gym in his life.
Well, just
like this guy appears to be very athletic,
to the gym, but does other things.
This guy's not.
He's more worried about the sort of.
He's not getting the ball very far down the field.
Most likely not.
So, anyways, there's my take. Drew, I think Drew. Is it Drew? What's the question? Somebody, it was either Drew or Drew. Drew wanted to know what we thought about it. I don't know that it's a controversy. I think basically everybody, for the most part, doesn't like it, and then you got a few people who just don't care. And then I just don't.
This is the one.
Cheerleaders, period.
So
if Kirk was an ultra marathon runner,
yes, that's good. I like that. Very accurate.
Savannah Bananas cheerleaders are all dudes with beard cuts.
No, I don't think they should have.
Vikings should have gone that route.
No, we don't need to see that.
I mean, we
don't need that. People gonna be getting hurt out there. You know?
I have a controversial take on the Vikings. I think the Vikings simply shouldn't exist. All right, like I'm in favor of.
And there would be 31 teams.
The Minnesota Vikings folding. Yeah, we can replace them with some other franchise in a different city. We can have a San Antonio team, or go back to St. Louis, or somewhere cool.
I'm not feeling the St. Louis. We tried it. It's fine. It's over.
We could put a team. I know it's a crazy idea. We could put a team in New York City. Then New York would have multiple NFL teams like New Jersey does.
That's true. That's, there's something there. There is something there.
What about Oakland? It'd be a good place. Or I know a city that it desperately needs a real NFL team.
Where you're going with this?
Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, that's not where I thought you were going.
Do you think I was going to say Chicago?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm holding off a little bit on picking on the Bears at the moment because I think that they're not making all the stupid moves that they have made for the last 5 years. So, it's kind of like when
it's like when an adult goes in the room. It's about time, isn't it?
Well, it's like, when the Lions were so terrible for a bunch of years, it was never surprising that they were bad. It was always like, yeah, we saw what moves you made every single offseason. This is about how many wins we expected when we saw the kinds of moves you were making. You were a terrible franchise.
Yeah.
So then when the Lions finally stop doing stupid stuff all year long, they start winning games. It's crazy. So, sadly for me, the Bears have started making some good moves finally. I think they put together a pretty decent roster. I would have hired Ben Johnson. I think Ben Johnson was a pretty good coaching candidate. There's been a lot of times
people would have, yeah.
I'm just saying, there's been a lot of times when they go hire somebody, and I, scratching my head, I'm like, how the heck did you decide on Matt Eberflus of all?
Yeah,
people?
that's a strange one.
That was a bad hire from the beginning.
It was extremely strange. I have to go.
Or
back
like
and
holding on to
who
Ryan Pace for so many years. Say what?
I have to go remember who was in that cycle with Eberflus.
Yeah, let's see. That would have been 2022, I think, right?
Yes, because it's the year after they draft the QB. Always.
Right. So this would be Mike McDaniel, Kevin O'Connell.
Oh, well.
Brian Dable, Doug Peterson, Todd Bowles, Josh McDaniels, Matt Eberflus, Dennis Allen, Lovie Smith, and Nathaniel Hackett. This was a brutal cycle. So of those,
not good.
Like
the best
Mike
ones
McDaniel
in your division.
and Kevin O'Connell.
The best ones in your division.
Mike McDaniel and Kevin O'Connell. Those were the good hires.
Yeah.
I like Mike McDaniel, well enough. He's a little bit of a controversial coach, but I like him well enough. Kevin O'Connell obviously been doing a fantastic job with Minnesota, and I thought he was a great. I thought he was a great candidate. Basically, everybody else was not good.
Yeah, Peterson steered the ship for one season and then decided he was kind of over it.
I mean, Dable is still in New York, so
he is still there. Todd Bowles is still there.
I would say Todd Bowles was like maybe the other good hire besides O'Connell and McDaniel, and everybody else was really truly bad.
The rare in-house promotion after someone retires, who had already seen the operation, how it was going, right, and goes, okay, I know what I'm not good at.
He was also kind of anointed.
Let's go get some designers, He
was also kind of anointed and like, he was the succession plan, right?
Right. Yep.
This is the plan for multiple years.
It was, yeah. And he got, and credit to him, at the very least, for getting Canales in there, for getting Cohen in there, and like the offense, which obviously he, isn't really responsible for. Like, he's getting good coaches in there. Can't wait to see if it happens a third year in a row. They keep getting poached. But been just fine.
Do you have any thoughts on this team up in Green Bay, Wisconsin, called the Packers? They played a couple preseason games. I don't know if you noticed. I thought it would be fun to play a little game of stock watch. We could do stock up, stock down on some guys.
Works for me.
I had a guy who I don't want to get crazy far out over my skis here and claim that I was going to be like all in on this dude. But Keith Randolph was waived like yesterday or today.
Mm-hmm.
I think today. Yesterday. He was waived yesterday with an injury, which is unfortunate because I thought he played a really good game against the Colts. He got his hands on the ball a couple times. He had 2 different pass deflections. Overall, just a nice effort. from a guy who I had just not taken any notice of at all prior to that game. And now he's off the team with a bad injury. So that is disappointing for him.
And a lot of injuries.
But I do have a stock up.
Okay.
All right. And this is me trying to be not generous, intellectually honest. How's that? A guy who I have never said a kind word about ever, Cornelius Johnson. I'm not going to say that I think he's played fantastic in the preseason, but in the first game against the Jets, he was one of the few guys who was kind of showing some hustle and some effort out there, and he was rewarded with a much larger sample of playing time in the second game against the Colts. So the coaching staff took notice of what he did and rewarded him for it. So, a little tip of the hat to Mr. Cornelius Johnson. Again, prior to these last couple of weeks, my stance was always basically like, I don't know if he can play football. I don't know if he's an NFL player. Like, he's really big and pretty fast. But, really tall, but like, okay, I don't think he can play. But he's impressed the coaches.
Yeah.
And giving a lot of effort out there. So I respect it. Want to see if he can put it together for a third straight week here. Maybe crack that practice squad or maybe the bottom of the roster. Who knows? I mean, there's still some jobs up for grabs for sure. So there you go. There's I guess it is me trying to be generous, but also intellectually honest. So
yeah, I think that's a fair stock up. Yeah, I think the obvious one is Jordan Morgan, right? I think you're seeing a player who, again, really he played left tackle at Arizona, right?
Yeah.
Footwork, balance, all of that looks a lot better. I think he would still like to see him not kind of give away his chest as much. He's still, that was we went through the film, right? A long time ago, right? And it feels like a long time ago anyway, where he's one of those guys who loops around, does the bear hugs, is always late to the party in terms of initiating contact. And it felt like it was better. If he can clean that up, that's, I think, what's going to help him most, because I think when we were talking about his fit last year when he was picked, it was like, okay, yep, he can fit at guard. They're doing a lot of zone stuff. This, the quickness will be beneficial there. Then things change. Josh Jacobs comes in. They're running, kind of a more versatile, setup with their run game, right? There's a lot more gap, a lot more power involved. There's still zone runs, no question, but they're staying with the mixed bag going forward. And that kind of, to me, that plus Belton coming in was kind of like, okay, well, they're kind of phasing him out there because, Sean Ryan, Banks, all these guys are a lot bigger and more well-built to handle on the interior. Now where the heck does he go? That's like, well, he's got to go back to tackle now. He's got to be the dancing bear pass protection type player that Green Bay, that's what they want at tackle, right? Over everything else. What is the run game just kind of an added bonus to them when they draft guys? Yeah, absolutely. So that's kind of now where he fits best. And yeah, I don't think the length was ever an issue, right? The arm length was an issue. It was just not striking in time, being late to the party, right? With the hands. And so if he continues to take these steps up and up, it looks like there's potential that the plan, which we've kind of talked about, on multiple occasions in the offseason, of like, how does this all shape up for 26? Well, if they don't want to pay Sheed, they don't want to pay Jenkins, right? This guy's coming out like, okay, probably going to need Morgan and Belton to both play. And it's, okay, Jordan Morgan moving over left tackle, like this, probably what's in the cards, at least what they're thinking at the moment for 2026. So I think he, made some important strides in the first couple of games. The Jet game was a little difficult. He didn't get to face a lot of the top guys, right? Jay Tufele, who's kind of more of a 3-tech, was lined up a lot across from him to start that game. So it's kind of like a DT. Now, kudos for handling him in terms of the power that he brings, but obviously he's not going to create a ton of momentum necessarily with the explosion. But Latu drew him in game 2. Looked pretty good in that matchup. And that was a matchup we saw in college, too. We saw that matchup. We saw what happened. A little bit of a mixed bag back and forth in college, right?
True.
And, all things considered, Morgan did a nice job. The footwork is obviously there, right? He has the experience. So, I think feeling comfortable with the tackle position, and I know everybody instantly, when Jordan Morgan does something good, we should trade Rasheed Walker. It's like, whoa. Remember the Bach injury in 2020. Imagine if Green Bay had a third tackle in the back pocket for an occasion such as that. They're going to get a comp pick. They're going to get a comp pick anyway, people, if he walks.
I mean, they had a third tackle. He just wasn't good.
He just wasn't good. Right, correct. And if Jordan Morgan's built to handle it out there, like, you got 3 of them. Don't mess around. Like, you want to trade a receiver, fine. Do whatever. You want to do that, be my guest. But we aren't in the business of trading tackles. We're not doing that. Not giving Cincy a tackle for Trey Hendrickson. Sorry. No thanks. Why don't you pay him $40 million?
Since
you clearly don't want to, by the way.
I think Diana Rossini is the one reporting that the Bengals' current asking price is just a player and a first-round pick for the honor of paying him the contract that they don't want to pay him when he's no. I mean, like, let's be honest. Like, you hope that he's around, but there's a very real chance that he's only in the league for 2 more years, just based on his age. Yeah. So, yeah. Mike Parsons, I think they want 2 firsts and a player.
That's probably fair. I think whatever Khalil, we did the Khalil Mack trade and what that was, like, that makes more sense for a player of that caliber at that age. Two over this is asking how the Bengals don't pay Hendrickson after last night. I don't even think Hendrickson's going to solve their problems, to be perfectly honest. Like, I'd probably be doing what they're doing is like, hey, we got to get some picks in here. We need to restock the cupboard because this one guy's not going to do it. Now, if they can't get what they want, like, kind of got to shell out
what
some
if
money.
They hired a GM? Do you think that would fix any of their problems?
And probably a scouting staff. That might help. Because, man, I don't know. We kind of go up and down with the first round pick, right? In Stewart, and like how, again, how good of a fit he would have been for Green Bay, but how much we kind of didn't want that to happen. The second round pick looks worse. And yeah, I don't
off the top of my head remember who their second pick was.
Demetrius Knight Jr. From South Carolina. So, like, both linebackers got blocked by a tight end last night on a Washington touchdown run. Like, man,
saw that. That was hideous.
The Eagles' second team's going up and down the field against them in preseason week 1. Like, boy, got people in the comments last night. Really quick, got people in the comments last night saying they need to do the 54-51 greatest Monday Night Football game ever thing to win every game this year, and that's probably not wrong. Unless it's like the Browns.
54-51 was that Rams Chiefs?
It was. Yeah, like
that was my favorite non-Packers football game.
It's such a good game.
Well, NFL game that I've ever seen. That was so much fun.
And it's like they're going to have to win those games.
Yeah.
Like last year, Bengals Ravens both times. Like that was like, we're putting up. Here we go. Yeah, the Bengals lost 41-38 in overtime and 35-34. Get ready to
right.
Yeah, get ready to put up 600 points to try and go 10-7, buddy. Like that, I don't know what to say.
Hey, you know what?
It's tough out there.
Draft a whole bunch of Bengals in fantasy football, and that's how you profit there.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
Drew says Oladapo chart trending upwards. Robinson chart trending down. I don't remember which guy is Robinson. Is that Micah Robinson?
I'm assuming he's talking about Micah Robinson.
I'm looking at the whole roster, which for some reason my roster has 98 guys on it.
Belton chart with downward trend as well.
Yeah, so I think Belton is kind of one of those areas where you and I are disagreeing a little bit, just based on like our the group chat. That seems like everybody's kind of trending out a bit on Belton, and I think for me, like the needle just hasn't moved at all. Like I was never super high on him, but I also I don't feel like I've seen anything from him so far that is like giving me new information we didn't have just from watching him in college. People are upset about all the penalties, and I just like we've had guys with crazy penalties issues. Rasheed Walker, his first year that he was starting for us for a full season, he had a penalty in every single game he played that year.
We tune those out though. We forget. Once they're good, I don't remember being out, that type of thing, Gosh, the Jordan Morgan thing. How long did that take last year? Watch DeJean play a couple games and go, I'm super out. This stinks. It's like, hold on a minute. Maybe let him get up to speed a little bit here. And so, I know Belton's 24, so I understand there's maybe a little more concern there because you would ideally want to see.
That's always been the concern for me is the age.
Yeah. Because
by the time he's looking for his new contract, his second contract, he's going to be 28 years old.
Right.
That is why I hate the pick.
Yeah.
Is the age.
And
can I on Jordan Morgan for a second?
No, yeah. Just the thing, with Belton 24, right? Verse was 24. Fisk was 24. Those guys came in and did it immediately. And it's that's at 24. I hope so. That's what you want to see, right? You draft a 24-year-old, you go, no, I need it tomorrow, right? Not in 3 years. I need it tomorrow. That's the deal with the QB thing a little bit more, right? But obviously quarterbacks tend to play longer. But for other positions, right?
Yeah.
Ideally, you want that second contract to be done around 30 so you can get those 2 full contracts in before you start to hit that cliff. And we're just not in that position with Belton. And so I think that's why maybe there's a little more concern, and I think that's understandable because, you're going, well, we're seeing all these penalties, and if he was 21, right, and had all these physical tools and was a freak, I think there would be a lot more okay, patience. We're looking at 26, it's totally fine. Let's, put that in the back pocket a little bit while we see more. But at 24, I think that's probably where, as you said, the age is probably the biggest concern that we're seeing all of this. But I think preseason, more importantly, is just more evaluation, right? You've built all your notes, you've built everything that your thoughts are on the rookies. Treat the 3 games, hopefully 3 games, as more evaluation. Gather more info. What are you seeing? What's new? What's maybe more of a concern than you thought? All of that, I think, is what you should be doing for the Brooks. And even the second-year guys who haven't done a lot, right? Like Jordan Morgan.
Yeah, I think a guy like Julian Hicks is, squarely in the crosshairs of a preseason period like this, of you've been here for a little bit, and are the coaches going to decide that they have invested enough time and energy into you, and have they gotten anything for their returns? Julian Hicks to me is kind of maybe the poster boy for it's now or never if you're going to give the coaches a reason to keep you around and keep investing in you. So, he had a nice catch in this last game, and he was making some really nice blocks. I think the opening drive, we went down and missed the field goal. I think I saw 3 really nice blocks by Julian Hicks that I really appreciated. And then on the second drive, then they looked to him, I think, on a 3rd and long, I think. And he made the catch. So appreciated seeing him, go do the dirty work and then get rewarded for that. Drew says, I think Hicks is a guy that is great for pushing other dudes in practice, but he's never going to be a player. Yeah, that's probably true. Statistically speaking.
Yeah.
Can I, Jake, on Jordan Morgan?
Yeah.
I still, my opinion on Jordan has changed kind of only in one sort of area. I don't know. I'm probably not saying this right. I always hated the idea of him as a guard. I thought that he was just a terrible fit for a guard. I didn't want to see him at right guard. We tried to plug him in at right guard. I thought he was not good last year. And this Rasheed Walker injury, the second we heard that Rasheed was hurt, I thought to myself, well, obviously this is great news for a guy like Jordan Morgan who really needs another crack at left tackle, which if he's going to succeed with this football team, or probably almost anywhere in the NFL, it needs to be at left tackle. And so if Rasheed misses a little bit of time, like Jordan needs to take this opportunity, make the most of it, and take Sheed's job away. Don't let him take it back. And my question to you is, do you think, because I think this is what Goody wants. I think Goody and even LaFleur have really wanted to upgrade from Rasheed. I don't think that they have liked having Rasheed be their LT1.
Sure.
Do you think that so far Jordan Morgan has done enough this summer to let Goody and LaFleur justify making him the starter over Rasheed? Not saying whether you would do it. I'm saying, do you think if they already want to, because I think they already want to, do you think that he has given them enough to justify what they really want to do anyways?
That's difficult because, again, summer. Yeah, I mean, I wish I was privy to a lot more in camp of what we've seen from Morgan. There's always the clips that go around, right? But from that standpoint of like from the Jet game in Indy and just kind of camp and the practices, even those practices against the Jets and the Colts, and obviously Seattle's going to be this week too. I don't think it's quite enough, but what I will say is I think it's enough to give them the opportunity to go, if Rasheed's slipping at all, if they see something that they don't like, that they could then go to him. Like, it feels kind of like the like QB situation that almost that almost you get that rookie in there that like maybe wasn't the first round pick, right? And you go, he's better than we thought. And we paid the starter. Once the starter slips up, we are justified in making that switch. I think that's kind of where I'm at. Where like they're kind of like, okay, Morgan's done a good amount. If we don't see what we want to see from Rasheed, then they maybe make that move.
I want to throw two things at you. One is, so Jordan has played, I think, like 68 snaps or something like that, 60-something snaps in these two preseason games, and allowed 0 pressures, and I think also committed 0 penalties.
I believe that's true, yes.
So if they're trying to make any kind of a case on paper, that's a really easy case to make on paper right there.
It is.
He's also... Here's the other thing I wanted to suggest. So Notre Dame and Ohio State both, in the last couple of days, announced their starting quarterback for the year. And in both cases, they had highly rated recruit and dude who's kind of been there a while. So Notre Dame, you had CJ Carr and Kenny Minchey. And kind of the reports all summer were Kenny Minchey is solidly ahead of CJ Carr in the QB battle the whole way. And then CJ Carr, what we finally hear is, man, in the last like 5 practices, CJ really pulled ahead and cemented himself. Yeah. Okay, is that true, or did the coaches really want it to be CJ the entire way?
And
they just really needed him to push himself and just, really believe he was in a competition and be the best that he could be. And then kind of like he would have had to really kind of crap the bed to lose that opportunity. Similarly, Ohio State, they have 5-star Julian Sand, redshirt freshman, in a quote unquote QB competition with Lincoln Keenholz from North Dakota or South Dakota. I forget. I think it's South Dakota. Who's, pretty good athlete, but like I never believed for a second that it was a real QB battle at all. You had your truthers in the Ohio State beat media who love the idea of Lincoln Keenholz as the next Ohio State quarterback, and we're really pushing this narrative. I never bought it for a millisecond. I'm like, look, Sayan is a 5-star QB. He's going to be the guy. Like, it's his job to lose. I don't think Keenholz can take the job from him. Sayan can only lose it.
Sure.
And then what we hear, magically, as soon as they name Sayan the starter is, the last 2 weeks, it really was a QB competition the whole way, but the last 2 weeks, Sayan finally pulled ahead. It's like, you know what? I noticed that you announced the QB the same day you announce the QB every single year. So it's not like you just saw something in practice that made you finally decide, yeah, it's time to make the decision. Yeah. You knew when you were going to announce the decision. And I think you knew quite a while ago whether he was good enough to let him keep the job you wanted him to have, or if he was going to get demoted. So like my theory is this is more the situation we have with Jordan Morgan of Goody's like, I want to see my first round left tackle out there on the field. I want to see him playing. Like, Sheed, love you, but I burned a 7th on you. I just don't give a crap. I want to see my first round guy out there.
Yeah, I think there's 2 other things I think that you can make the case for to make it justifiable as well. Yeah, other than obviously, as you said, taking him in the first round. One, he turned 24 15 days ago. We were just talking about, hey, when you're 24, we need to see something. Perfect time to say, hey, let's see something, buddy, since you're 24 in our first round pick. And then the other thing is obviously keeping that continuity up, right? It would be great that if, Walker and Morgan could switch interchangeably and you're not, losing any of the cohesiveness that you want to see from a group of 5, right? Like that's an ideal world, but that's never a guarantee, right? Guys are wired differently. Not everybody's just, the mindless drone playing offensive line, right? Everybody has their tendencies, their way of communicating, all of that stuff. So yeah, if you want to make it happen, those 2 things plus him being a first round pick, I think make it justifiable enough. Obviously, if you were asking me, you weren't asking me if I would do it. So yeah, I think that they can certainly make it justifiable.
I think you would have Sheed be the left tackle, right?
I probably would to start with, just because I've seen it in games that count. And yeah, that's probably where I'm at. But it's hard to ignore, Morgan doing what he has done, in the preseason to this point, even if it's not maybe against what you would hope it to be against, right? But yeah, I think it's justifiable. But I also think it's justifiable to say, like, hey, if, we don't see something from Sheed, we can go to Jordan Morgan early, right? Not waste our time, right? And just go, yeah, Sheed, you're going to be the swing. You'll be the backup left tackle going forward here. And so I think they could take either path. I could see either happening. So
would you?
And I will say the thing about Morgan,
would you sign off at all?
Go ahead.
Would you sign off at all on doing the rotation, the in-game rotation every other series for a bit early on in the year? Because they've done that.
I don't love it at left tackle.
Right guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is different left tackle, but like they've made it work at right guard. So if they wanted to do that at left tackle, how many alarm bells are going off in your head?
I don't know about alarm bells necessarily, but it's kind of I guess it's just saying they're kind of unsure, and they're taking it. They're being more cautious of like, we don't want to throw Jordan out there. We'd love to see reps. But yeah, I mean, it's at left tackle doing that. I don't love that because again, the cohesion as a group, drive to drive. I feel like you'd want it more at left tackle. Right guard, I think is something you can get away with more. Plus, I believe one of the weeks they were doing that, it was against the Rams without Stafford, if I'm not mistaken, which is kind of like you can probably do it in this game and get away with it because they don't have their quarterback. But yeah, I wouldn't love it. I have no problem with them going either way. Like if they believe in Jordan Morgan, I think probably just do it. If they're a little hesitant, I would wait for, if she struggles against the Lions, if he struggles against the Commanders, right, early in the season where you go, okay, yeah, this is kind of our concern. We want to see more of this. And I think to the run game point, because somebody said it, Ron Sanville said it, if Morgan run blocks better and doesn't get penalties, he probably should start. There were certainly some reps, and I think in that Jet game where, it's Tufele opposite him, right? So it's a DT kind of setting an edge. And he was moving him a little bit. And I think with good strikes, you can do that. And so, he's 6'6", 320, right? Like he's bigger. He's not, 300 or anything like that. Like he should have the mass density and the momentum enough to move guys around. And, if you're getting that, yeah, it's going to be tough to sit him. So
I like Drew's thought. I could see them saying, let's not rush Rasheed Walker.
That's possible.
And give Morgan opportunities in the first few games.
Makes sense. Yep.
That makes sense because it's a good way to let kind of everybody save face.
Yep. Like, Sheed, you're not healthy. You're okay. Like, oh, well, Sheed was hurt, so Morgan had to play if it doesn't go well. Yeah, that type of thing. And, like, Sheed's back. He's healthy now, right? Yeah. That would make a lot of sense, too. For sure. Stinks that this is happening at left tackle, but if they're going to figure something out, I want them to be right here, no matter what that ends up being. So, whatever it takes to get there by, mid-season, end of season, like, that's fine. Like, figure it out. Figure out who the left tackle is and is going to be. Like, works for me. And yeah, I think anything but a rotation, I think would track. Like, you want to make the move, you make the move. Fortune favors the bold. Be bold when everyone else is afraid. Like, go ahead, yeah. Or yeah, save face. Rasheed's hurt. Jordan's gonna play. Oops, Jordan's not doing too well. Rasheed's back. He's good, healthy, good to go. No problem with that. So it's an interesting situation, but again, it's one where I would, for those who were in here maybe just a little bit after we started this conversation, if Jordan Morgan starts, do not start sounding out those alarm bells of, oh, we should trade Rasheed Walker. No. Because the instant Morgan goes down, we're like, oh crap, we don't have Rasheed now. We got to go get him back. It's like they're not giving him back, buddy. So I would not even think about doing that. Like, if Golden and Savion, JJ, were both like really good to start the season, yeah, would I trade one of those three that are 1 year or 2 years left on the deal? Sure, yeah, I could definitely see that.
We also have an abundance of wide receivers that are similar talent. Looking at the tackles we have on the roster, I mean, it's Zach Tom, Elgton Jenkins, Jordan Morgan, Rasheed Walker. And then at that point, you are in Sean Ryan territory way quicker than you want to be.
Right. And if Elgton Jenkins gets into the picture, that is removing something from center. And then you got to figure out who's playing center. I think a lot of people don't like Sean Ryan playing center. Jacob Monk, they've been trying him at guard. That's been atrocious. So
we did Jordan Morgan really long. My stock down was going to be Jacob Monk.
That's fair.
I did a stock down a week ago on Jacob Monk, and I want to sell even more stock on Jacob Monk. Is there anybody out there who's going to buy some stock for me? Because I want I mean, I never even bought.
There could be some buy lows out there.
I was gifted some Jacob Monk stock by Brian Gutekunst on the day he drafted him. I said, I don't really want this. He said, no, you got to hold on to it. I'm like, ugh. Okay.
Our prices have never been lower.
I'm still trying to find buyers for my low Jacob Monk stock, Mr. Butler.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough one for sure.
And Belton. You're right. Belton probably
that's
gets
true also
at tackle before Sean Ryan does. Frankly.
Yeah.
Sean Ryan, like I liked the idea of Sean Ryan as our right tackle when he was a draft prospect. Anytime we've ever seen him at tackle, it's been like I close my eyes, like I don't want to see anymore. No,
the foot speed, the lack of the length, it's all showed up. Which doesn't show up for some guys, right? It just depends, but yeah. It was a problem for him.
That's a good way to say it, because I certainly don't write people off for tackle for having short arms. I get more concerned about guards with long arms than I do tackles with short arms. But it's a player-by-player case, and some of the guys can't make up for having short arms.
Right.
Bruce says he's out on Monk. Bruce, you should take Monk off of your 53.
Ooh.
You should do that.
Interesting.
You should do that, Bruce.
We got some in the chat as well. Let's want to get through. Dershel said Amar Johnson stock up. Yeah.
Yeah, let's have a running back conversation. There was another running back question. Do you remember who asked the passing Marshawn Lloyd question? I don't know if we started that one. Okay. Find it so we can give him credit. But somebody asked, at what point do Emmanuel Wilson and I think Amar Johnson or Chris Brooks pass up Marshawn Lloyd for the coaches?
I got it. Yep.
It's a good question. For me, Emmanuel Wilson for me is firmly our RB2. And you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and say Chris Brooks is RB3.
Probably.
And if we ever see something from Marshawn Lloyd, okay. But I went back, I found something I wrote for the 2024 draft class about the running backs. And I was super down on that running back class. I did not like the 2024 running back class.
Yeah.
And there were a couple of small guys who I said, hey, on day 3, I wouldn't mind these guys, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
And I wrote about Marshawn Lloyd. And I said, the biggest reason I don't think that he is a Packer is because of his age and the number of injuries he had in college. Now, I don't remember sitting here today. I don't remember that he missed a bunch of time in college, but that's what I wrote at the time was he missed a bunch of time in college from all these injuries. He had hamstring injuries in college too, which how many hamstring injuries has he had as a Packer? 3, at least two, because he's got a hamstring injury right now. And he had one last year. He also had, I forgot about this. I wrote that he had some significant fumbles problems in college as well,
he did.
Both at South Carolina and USC. So,
yep.
I think by the time, we were a week out from the draft or something,
Our prices have never been lower.
I think I had kind of come to the point where I said, I basically hate this running back class completely. Marshawn Lloyd is my RB1, but I also just don't want a running back. And then we took Marshawn Lloyd in the 3rd round, and I was okay with it because that's kind of where I had said you would need to take Marshawn Lloyd. But unfortunately, where we sit here today, August 19th, 2025, I think it was a bad pick. I think he was a busted pick. I think he's just not going to end up really playing for us. He can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
We got 2 years of complete inability to how many days in practice is he able to string together? 3 or 4 at most before he's out again? This dude can't even stay healthy enough to practice ever.
Listen, I try to everybody knows on the YouTube channel, I'm trying to study players who I think the Packers won't draft. Because we already break down all the guys the Packers do draft. I'm trying to find the guys the Packers won't. And then 3 days before the draft, I'm they're not picking Lloyd. I'm gonna do the Lloyd video now. Because I didn't think they were gonna pick him. I was trying to remember if it was oh, well, they're going to go all bigs, and they're going to, like, oh, Braylon Allen might be the guy, type of thing. Like, that might be what they do. Isaiah Davis was another big one. Funny enough, both those guys end up in New York, but with the Jets. But, like, those were the guys who were like, okay, they might just take a little swing here. Ray Davis was another one. I think that was talked about quite a bit. And so, yeah, it was surprising that they went that route. I know the explosiveness, yes, totally understand that, right? But it kind of is one of those weird things with Goot. Like, it's like, okay, why are you picking the running back when the class is not good? And then this year comes along.
I don't understand why he's been doing that the last couple of years.
And the class is good, and we're not doing it. Like,
he's like
there were so many
guys. He used to really like digging at the places where the draft was really deep, and now he's doing the opposite. He's only swinging where it's thin.
It does seem
and also my biggest problem with him is like how late he is to everything. He's always like a year after we're all concerned about a position, like safety, tight end, cornerback, defensive tackle. A year after we are in full panic mode. And he's like, whatever. And we tried out there with like McDonald's employees at safety. Yeah. And we're like, what is going on? Then the next year, he's really? Like, well, that was bad. Why don't I go spend a lot on getting a whole new safety room? And then, wow, magically it worked and we have good safeties. I wish we would have done that a year ago.
Yeah.
When we knew we didn't have any safeties.
Yep. Mm-hmm. No, listen, you want an explosive player who fumbles? Bashal Tootin was in this draft. Like, you could have had him at about the same spot. Like, we could have done that. Like, there's no problem. So, yeah, I agree. I just it is strange. It's, hey, we need 2 receivers this year in a class that isn't as good as 24, but we're gonna do it anyway. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's very, very strange. Like, get the receiver in the class that's really good, and then again, that's nothing against Golden, right? Because we think Golden's going to be good. Like, everything we've seen so far is telling you, the vibes are great. But it's very strange that it does seem like, and thank goodness he got Cooper last year, because that linebacker class took a dive off the cliff after those first 3 guys, really. From, I think, Cooper, Colson, and Wilson. Like, it felt like it took an absolute dive off a cliff, and Wilson had a bunch of injury issues, right, as on top of it. So it was like, well, would we even take him? So, yeah, it does seem like it does seem like that happens. So, yeah, it is a very strange deal. Too old for this is the one who had the Amar Johnson pass up Lloyd and Wilson question. I don't think Johnson will pass Wilson. I'm in agreement with JJ that he is the RB2 until further notice.
Wilson is 2, yeah.
Unless Travion Henderson walks off a plane tomorrow and we found out we traded for him, Emmanuel Wilson will be the RB2 for this team. So, yeah, it does seem like...
I mean, if MarShawn Lloyd can ever get healthy, I think that LaFleur and company are going to try and put him out there as RB2. Yeah. I did find, or I pulled up, this is the thing that I wrote on Lloyd on March 29th, 2024. Said, I just don't think he's a Packer. Pros, 7 yards per carry. Cons, he's short and old with an injury history.
Yeah.
Pretty much only a runner and one with major fumble issues at that. As a runner, he has fantastic instincts and natural God-given athletic ability and burst, but he is extremely raw, was not developed. He's smart and knows defense, but his form is all over the place. I just don't...
It was super interesting because I felt like his best fits were like, okay, this is the lane. Like, either take time for it to open up, which he would, or just attack, and he did that, right? And so, like, oh, Green Bay's going to run more gap stuff with Jacobs coming this year. Okay, this can work. Like, we don't have to thrust him into, like, hey, inside zone, read the backside A gap, right? Or, stay front side, pick off lanes that are opening, to cut back. Like, we're not going to do that as much. Okay, this can work. Like, it is very possible. But yeah. I mean, he was definitely like a good gap runner. And there were quite a few of those. in last year's class, but it's just it seems like I don't know what to say anymore. I might call a mulligan on my over-under games that he's healthy during the season.
What did we even say last time?
You
did I
said
say
3.5 or
3.5?
I said 6.
And you said 6.5?
I did.
Okay.
I might have to drop that down.
Yeah.
But you know what?
I'm starting to like my 3.5 better.
I would like your 3.5 at this point. In terms of that over under. So yeah, it's not looking good. I want to catch up on some comments also.
Can we do this one? So Drew says
yes.
stock up on Warren Brinson. So I think, and I might be wrong, I don't have the PFF stats in front of me, but I think that he led the defense with 6 pressures. That might be completely wrong. That's what I think. 6 pressures in this Colts game. Which, playing from the defensive tackle position, him and Stackhouse both had a crazy amount of pressures. So I appreciate that. This was kind of the first interesting thing I've seen from Brinson, who was, I don't know, not my favorite draft pick. The 7th rounder, but I usually don't care for our 7th rounders. The notable exceptions would be like Michael Pratt and Rasheed Walker.
So Brinson has 5 pressures this preseason. He did have 4 in the Indy game. Yes.
All right. Still crazy good,
Stackhouse
especially from the defensive tackle position. So 7 between the 2 of them.
Yep. Feels
Ron says Daniel Jeremiah had him RB1 in that draft. I think you're talking about MarShawn Lloyd.
Yes,
that's
true.
I think Jake and I both said he was our RB1 in that class.
No, not Lloyd. Not for me. Hold on. Mine was definitely Brooks, who was also dealt with injury problems.
I liked Brooks and Benson, and I also liked Estime. I think you didn't like Estime. Is that right?
I did. So my list is Brooks, Benson, Jalen Wright, Corum, Estime, Shipley, Davis, and then Lloyd as my top 8. And then Bucky at 9, which he's been better than all of them so far, which is, it is what it is.
I liked Bucky as well. I had MarShawn Lloyd 1. Then I had Brooks, Estime, Benson, Bucky, Michael Wiley, Blake Corum, Jalen Wright, Dylan Laube. And then I had a pile of like, here's guys I would be interested in for like UDFA, which is Isaiah Davis, Kimani Vidal, Isaac Guerrero, Tyrone Tracy.
Yep.
So that would be that. That would be that pile.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were gonna take the flyer on a Tracy at all.
I thought Tracy and Laube both kind of made sense as Packers fits. And I kind of liked the idea of Jalen Wright a little bit. Really did not like Isaac Guerrero at all. As a Packer fit.
Guerrero, just again in that similar vein of like, hey,
he had no production.
Like outside zone, wide zone. If we're not doing that anymore, if we're mixing the bag, like not sure about that.
You thought Laube looked like a creep. Who? I don't remember saying that. Did you say that he looked like a creep? I need to find a picture.
Doesn't sound like something I would say, but
doesn't sound like something I would say either. But maybe. Okay, maybe I'm way crazy on this, but I don't think I've ever seen this dude's face before. Here's Dylan Laube's face.
But
let's see here. I'm going to collapse it a bit. Look like a creep. Pretty normal dude to me.
Looks like a Dylan.
He does look like a Dylan. A Dylan or maybe a Kyle.
There's a little bit of Chad.
I could also actually, maybe I shouldn't say this.
There's a little bit of Chad in there. Maybe you shouldn't.
Little Chad, little bit of Jake in his face. Okay. I could believe this is a Jake.
I could buy that.
Nah, that's a Dylan for sure. That is as Dylan as
it is certainly a Dylan.
Twolfthus says, JJ, it was you. All right, I guess I said he looked like a creep. I don't remember ever saying that, but I don't think that you are a dishonest person, so I must have said it.
Little Brock Bowers.
Little Brock Bowers.
Says Chris.
Sure. I mean, the receding hairline a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. It's not terrible. It's. I wouldn't say he has any more of a receding hairline than I do. Maybe less of one. Well, I guess that's up there pretty high.
Yeah. Chris.
Where was the Tampa Bay? That's Bucky.
It's Bucky. Where was he, or just?
He for me, Bucky. You had. Where did you have Bucky? I had Bucky at
9th.
I had it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had him 5th.
6th round.
In between Trey Benson and Michael Wiley.
I don't think I had Wiley.
Michael Wiley is currently with the Chiefs.
Oh, wow. So they have Michael Wiley and Jared Wiley? That's wild.
He signed with the Commanders as a UDFA. Then he went to the UFL.
Oh, okay.
And then he was waived by the UFL and then signed a futures contract with the Commanders, but was released on July 22nd and then just got picked up by the Chiefs 1 week ago today. So there you go. Michael Wiley has not panned out so far and is not really on the trajectory you'd like to see.
Yeah.
Okay, more comments we want to get to.
I want to get to some that aren't starred as well. Well, I guess we're going to
okay. Oh, go ahead and star them so we can.
We'll go down the Hopper one. Well, no, just some like
speaking of Hopper
stuff. I know Professor Cakes want to say hello because we really didn't get to his question. I know Ron Sanville said he wanted to trade Simmons stock for Monk stock. That's probably another stock down. Is Isaiah Simmons, right?
Let me ask you this Simmons question: do you think Simmons makes the roster as a special teamer, or does not make the roster? Those are your two options. Because he's not making a roster as a freaking defensive linebacker. I'll tell you that.
No. Yeah, I don't think he makes it. I think they tried it. You know, they're maybe hoping to see a little bit more than special teams, and I think they might just outright say no.
I think it'll be interesting to see which special teams players they feel like they have to keep on the roster, and that'll probably kind of inform whether Simmons makes the team or not. Ron says, I hope I didn't miss the Hopper talk. We haven't talked about him yet, so
we have not.
You brought him up. Wondering if we're still completely out on him. All right, so I'll do it. Stock up on Hopper a little bit. I have seen more from him this preseason than I've ever seen from him before. I'm not going to say mean things about him until the next time he does something stupid. Okay?
Yeah.
He has played well enough to get me to stop saying mean things. I think I'll tell you this. I would rather have Tyron Hopper playing linebacker for us than Isaiah Simmons. How's that?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I would rather play Christian Welch than Tyron Hopper, but I'd say it's close where we sit today.
Yeah.
Do you have a flag you like to plant for Hopper?
He's probably at the very least either the second or third guy to be kind of the middle linebacking thumper on this defense. Just kind of obviously it depends. I think what they're going to do in base, that maybe he gets on the field a little bit more. But I think he has certainly done enough to earn the right to be sticking around. For potentially the entire rookie contract. So, we'll see. They like McDuffie. I don't know if he's going to pass McDuffie anytime soon.
I Can you tell me what you don't like about McDuffie? Because it seems like everybody doesn't like McDuffie, and I still I think I still like him as our like fourth linebacker pretty darn well.
Oh, that's totally fine. Yeah,
I mean,
have no problem with that.
Our third linebacker right now, I guess.
Yeah, probably
like,
third.
For me, it's Quay, Coop, and McDuffie are our top three.
Yeah,
and I think like what I'm not opposed to upgrading for McDuffie, but Drew says he can't cover.
I mean, yeah, I think maybe McDuffie is just aesthetically not what everybody wants because I think either 230 or just under 230, and he's a downhill thumper type who struggles a little bit in coverage. And you go, well, that seems super backwards, so I don't like that. But yeah, I mean, obviously he doesn't set the athletic ceiling that these other guys do, right? And so maybe that's, what people don't like, and I think that's fair. And I think if, for me, I don't think I was super in or out on like whether he'd be back or not. Now the Christian Welch stands, like Chris the Casual N is posting, like that's maybe just, yeah, it's more interesting because he's new and he made some splash plays and want to have him stick around type of thing.
Wait, who's new? Christian Welch isn't new. He's been here for a while.
I know, but I guess the idea of him, making an impact and being involved in like, on game day, I think was kind of like a splashy new idea a little bit more last year and was like, oh, like what can we get him on the field? Like this could be fun. And McDuffie's kind of the steady presence that's maybe not flashy at all, but can set enough of a floor. And people don't like that. And I get it. I understand, right, that, Quay, obviously, if he starts to come into his own even more, continuing to play that middle linebacker spot, like he's big and fast. And if he can do that, like you should be excited about that ceiling. Ezra and Cooper, you should be excited about that ceiling, right? There's also nothing wrong with some steady lunch pail guys behind them, right?
I mostly have liked Welch
as
a special teams player. I think he's fantastic on special teams. Yeah, he played a lot of special teams for us in 23. And I was kind of upset that we moved on from him and from what was his name? Eric
Wilson.
Eric Wilson was another special teamer who I really, really liked. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, as defensive linebackers, sure, like they're not really good enough to be starting, and we need 3 starters out there. For me, I think McDuffie. I think he provides enough of a solid floor that I'm not nervous about having him out there as our third backer. And I just don't think we have anybody else who I would at all, consider besides Hopper.
Yeah.
So Ayers says Hopper over McDuffie. I would put McDuffie over Hopper right now, but I'm certainly cool with like Hopper trying to push McDuffie. So another one that was weird. Here, Hopper or Quay? I don't know.
Quay.
I don't know how you arrived at that. Like Quay is
LB1. Just asking, just throwing some feelers out there.
Quay's LB1 for me. Sorry.
I don't think you have to
Brian,
apologize for that.
I have redacted right here. So this is the America Pop flavor of redacted. Yeah, but we try and not give redacted screen time because they don't sponsor the show. I keep tweeting at him. I sent him an email, asked him to sponsor the show. They didn't get back to me. So, we're trying to limit how much screen time they get.
I would also like to say that I'm starting to talk to other redacted energy, purple redacted energy, as well about something.
So there is. Do you know the girly? I'm trying to like just not say the names, but do you know the really popular girly redacted energy that is like really trendy right now?
No.
So there's another redacted energy out there that does all the crazy fun flavors. Right now, they have a witch's brew flavor. It's like a caramel
we talked
apple.
About this. Yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah.
Oh, I know which one it is. Yeah. I got you.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Too old for this. Do not type that in the chat.
Hey. What's going on here? Everybody's typing stuff in.
They didn't pay us. Brian's
also typing
that one,
stuff.
But they didn't pay us either.
Luckily, that's
they didn't pay us
wrong.
Either.
They don't. Yeah.
But, Tool for this says, I'm sure water will sponsor you. Look, you say water as though there aren't brands of water. There are brands of water who are also not sponsoring us. We'd be in trouble though, Jake, if there was a beverage company that was sponsoring us that had nasty tasting beverages that we didn't want to drink. That would be brutal. Like we'd have to sit here every week and be like,
probably do it anyway.
Drink this.
I'm gonna be
tastes
honest.
like money.
To be honest, I think I'd rather do that than be one of the billion people out there that have to market betting sites. To be honest, because oh my gosh, here are my picks that I have to put in this week for this. Like, please do this.
That's a brutal one. I also can't believe how many
podcasts
that I try and tune into that are advertising the little blue pills, and I'm just like,
oh yeah, I know,
bro. How much are they paying you? Like, I'm sorry, like,
bro. No.
I don't have a problem with somebody needing that, but I'm not doing an ad read about that on my podcast.
No.
But there's a lot of them. A lot.
I know. There was
the college football podcasts are doing that.
Yeah. There was I forget. There was somebody mentioned it to him. I think the Ringers NFL draft and fantasy show that flip flops depending on the season. Yeah. They had an ad. Not about those, but it was I think something. I think it was a feminine product that showed up on the Spotify ad. It's like Spotify ran that ad, and I think they discussed it. The next show of like we got a lot of people talking to us about this being an ad. During one of our shows. So I do find
there's a dynamic ad that ran like a year ago or so. For a feminine product. Yeah, too old for this. Yeah, so that's the thing. And look, again,
and that was
no problem with the product.
Happened.
But
no.
The specific ad for it was like so gross. Like
and it's not
the same
targeted
way.
Right, I don't think. Right?
No,
you can look up demographics. Not saying
even if it were. And even if you're like, hey, listen, I see that this football podcast that 5% of their viewers are women. So I'm going to really try and target them. Like,
you know what I'm doing.
Look, we love having women follow football. We love having women who know a lot about football, but it's kind of self-selective. And we can see our analytics. We can see that over 95% of our viewers are male. All right.
Yeah. So it's like, why are we throwing that in there? Yeah. I don't know. That was a strange time with Duel for this ad. Yeah, that was a strange time.
This specific ad, just like the direction they chose to go with it. It was like if you're doing the Dude Wipes one, like, and I don't like the Dude Wipes ads either, but if you're like doing it and then getting super descriptive the whole way through, like it's the exact same level of detail we were getting into with it. And I'm just like,
I'd rather not do that either.
We're doing like 3 dynamic ads per episode of this. I can't. It's bad. Mm-hmm. Just ads in general. But that's why we want products that we enjoy using and enjoy talking about. How much time do we spend talking about a product like this on this show and they're not paying us?
We derailed. No, Brian did it. Brian derailed us with this one.
Well, this is the only reason he tunes in. Let's be honest. Brian is not interested in our football takes. He does not like listening to us talk about football.
It was good.
But he does like derailing us with this.
That was not safe for work. Agreed. Yeah.
Professor Cake says, I identify as one of those metal balls from a pinball machine. That's very specific.
That's interesting.
You're not going to derail me with that, though. I'm moving right on.
Professor Cakes, though, I need to put these up there because we were talking about the shifting of the offensive line. He says, put Matt Orzek at center. This is rage bait for JJ, I think. He said if he could long snap, he could play center, right? Basically the same position. Can he long snap? That is the question. No.
If he can long snap. We all want to know. Can he
long snap? The answer to that
is
no. And Professor Cake's dropping a real good one there. Lloyd needs to eat his milk and drink his veggies. Well done.
What about drink his veggies and eat his milk? You can do that. It's possible.
You can.
And it does not take a lot of work to make those products do those things.
I don't think I'd want to eat the milk when it's done and ready to eat personally, but it is doable.
Do you remember that? Oh, what was the name? What was it? The something couple, like the Odd Couple or something like that. And it's like Walter Matthau. I forget. Anyways, it's these two old guys who have to move in together, and there's this scene where they're like, the one guy is like a clean freak and the other guy's really messy, and they're like arguing over the fridge, and the one guy pulls something out of the fridge and he's like, "What is this?" And the other guy's like, "Oh, that is either very old meat or very new cheese."
Oh yeah. Yes. That's true.
Two over this said Trey Hill can long snap real well, maybe a little too long. Hey, move Trey Hill to long snapper. It can't be worse. It can't.
We've talked about Musgrave doing it. Like, I mean, he'll get down the field in a hurry after he snaps. There's no question about that. You just gotta go straight, like that way. Like
somebody got into an argument with me on X talking about Matt Orzech, and they were like, well, his ceiling isn't really high, but he's reliable.
His ceiling is the roof.
And I'm like, do you understand like what long snapper is? I don't care about ceiling. The only thing I want is reliable, and that's what he can't do. He's not reliable. What are you talking about ceiling with a long snapper? How much of a ceiling is there for a long snapper? The perfect long snapper is one who you have never heard his name in your entire life.
That follows the Bill Belichick school of do your job. But
right.
Yes, if you don't know a long snapper on your team, chances
he's been there for 14 years.
Yeah,
he's got some crazy name.
Yeah, we're moving.
He's got some crazy name
3, but you don't even know
that you would have, if you had ever heard it in your entire life, you would have remembered it because it's crazy. It's like some long Russian name with way more consonants than vowels. And you're like, wow, we have a guy on our team with that name, and you check him out, and you're like, yeah, he's been here since 2014, and the reason you never remembered him is because nobody's ever said his name.
Yeah,
that's all I want in a long snapper.
100%.
But no, we have to sit here and see the Packers social media account posting about how good Matt Orzech is, and then hear Matt LaFleur and Richard Bisaccia and Brian Gutekunst all take time this offseason to praise like what a lunch pail, reliable, consistent, steady Eddie, gonna be an all-pro long snapper. And right. did we mention that he has a Super Bowl ring? Like,
they trying to get someone to come get him. Like, this guy's really good. You should probably trade
you can
for
just
him.
cut him. You don't need somebody to trade for him. You can just cut him outright. You know that, right?
Our prices have never been lower. Let's go.
Can we just rename Orzech to Buttlicker? Can that be his derailed name? Is Buttlicker?
I'm not sure if we can do that, but
it's not gross. It's just an office reference.
Just say no. I would just call him. The prices have never been lower.
Somebody in our chat calls him Matt Ozempic every week, and I like that.
I do
one.
see that. Yes.
Tool for this says the bet on Jordan Morgan to have the upside of 69. Rashid is just a roadblock to him seeing the field, in my opinion. If Morgan is the left tackle going forward, play Morgan.
Yeah. Again, you're betting on.
Did Brian Gutekunst write this? That's what I want to know.
No. Is Tool for this paid by Brian Gutekunst? How do we do that?
The godfather of the office himself, of office memes. Tool for this. Saying it can't be Buttlicker. The Buttlickers built this country. I appreciate you so much. Is there room for both Stackhouse and Brinson on the roster? So this leads to a question I wanted to ask you, Jake.
Okay.
Actually, the question is not only to Jake. The question is to Jake and the chat. Do we want to do a 53, or do we want to do a mock draft? I want to do a 53.
Hey,
But if you guys
pay for whatever you want.
If you guys send some donos, I'm willing to do a mock draft instead.
Okay.
All right. The Venmo is up in the corner, or it's down below, or there's a Cash App down below. If you want a mock draft, you have to bribe me to not do 53.
Yeah.
I would say we definitely don't have time to do both. We can do one or the other. So is there room for both Stackhouse and Brinson on the roster? I think we would need to do our 53 to answer that.
I'd do it.
Ron and Too Old for This both say 53, and Ayers says mock. So I will say you can lock in which one we're going to do by sending in a dono and saying which one you want, and then hope that nobody else outbids you. Bruce says, time to derail. Give me your case. This will give people a chance to answer our question about what they're doing the 53 mock. Give me your case for why the Packers defense will be a top 3 defense in the league. Offense still needs time to develop, but I think this defense is game-changing ready. 12-5, something carried by the defense. Am I wrong, and why? Bruce, I hope you're still. I hope you're still here listening.
I hope so.
This is a little bit ago, yes.
So I think it's okay. Give the case for how they can be a top 3 defense.
Jeff Athley.
And then can they be 12-5 carried by the defense? I think it's kind of I think this is probably what Bruce.
I would say they were
right.
They were essentially like approximately 11 or 12-5 last year, carried by the defense. Like the offense was bad last year.
Yeah.
And crucially, the reason the offense was bad was because and like I'm going to lay the blame mostly on the wide receivers and their freaking stupid drops.
Yep.
Like we're leading the league in 3rd and 4th down drops. And this is the biggest reason why our offense just could not sustain drives.
Yep.
The run game was pretty darn good.
It's not basketball.
Still really did not like our interior offensive line. I really kind of hated the job that we got out of our 2 guards and center last year. Like just that combination of 3 players.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. People are saying check the Venmo. Let's see here.
Uh-oh.
All right. We have 1 or 2. We have 2. All right. Too old for this.
They better not be for both things.
He sent $5.30 for a 53. So
that's interesting. That's interesting.
Appreciate that. Also, I love that his profile picture on Venmo is Ed Sheeran, because he does look a lot like Ed Sheeran, although much more handsome. And then Chris, who does not have a profile picture, sent $10, and he said 53. So we have a controversy-free night. We can do our 53.
Wow.
All is right in the world.
That's a lot. We'll do a mock draft.
Well, for this said, I'm just bald now.
We'll do a mock draft as well. That's a lot. We'll do both.
His profile picture.
We'll go.
They both sent money and asked for a 53.
I know, but that's a
you
lot
just want to do a mock 53. Draft.
That's a lot to send for just 53. I think I don't know.
I'm trying to give the people what they want. They said they want a 53.
Okay, so we'll get to that. I'm gonna go here. I think there's a few things with how they can be a top 3 defense, right? Obviously, Hafley continues to do Hafley stuff. I think that's a given, right? I think if they have to take the next step, right, like I think certain things have to happen other than Hafley. I think Hafley will give them the floor of being a good defense, right? I think above average defense. I think there are a couple things. One, Nate Hobbs needs to live up to the contract
and stay healthy.
Right, I think that comes. I think that probably comes with living up to the contract, right? I think staying healthy probably falls under that umbrella.
Sure.
So that's 1. 2, I think you get a leap from LVN in year 3, right?
Yeah, that's going to have to be a part of it.
Yeah. Then I think you get. So I think Brinson and Stackhouse have to bring something to the defensive line.
At least one of them for sure.
Doesn't have to be
I actually think
massive contribution. It has to be like we are giving something to this collective in this group where it's not all falling on Kenny. It's not all falling on Devontae Wyatt, right? It's not all falling on, even Carl Brooks to mix in. Like, no, this is a group. This is a good group that we can put in the rotation that people can be productive. And then I think 4 is Edgerrin Cooper. Keep going. Right? I think those are the main things. I think the safety room is going to be just fine. Whether or not Bullard is necessarily part of that leap, I don't think it necessarily.
We have 3 safeties that we believe in.
Yeah, Evan Williams, Oladapo, right, and obviously McKinney doing his thing. I think is plenty enough. Health willing, of course. Obviously, health is pretty much a given for things like being a top 3 defense over the course of a season. So, yeah, I think it's obviously Halfley doing his thing, but that's a given. I would say, D-line gets a boost from the new guys. Elgton takes a step. Hobbs lives up to the contract. I think are the 3 biggest things. Can they be 12-5 carried by the defense?
Again, they kind of were last year.
They were, but I don't know if they can do it carried by the defense. I think there has to be more, right? Because I think 12-5 to me.
If the offense doesn't take a step forward at all, but it also doesn't regress, if it's just exactly as good as it was last year, can they go 12-5? Like basically, we're saying, can the defense be a little bit better than it was last year, and you don't run into
all those drops,
worse luck than you had last year?
I don't know. 12-5.
Because we were an 11-6 team last year, and I will say that was like the worst 11-6 that I've ever seen. Other than that, was it 12-5 or 13-3 or whatever it was? The 13-4 from the Vikings that we saw a couple years ago.
13-4. Yeah.
13-4. Yeah. So that 11-6 team that we saw, not that they were like fraudulent on paper and you looked or anything, like the way the Vikings were, like they were truly fraudulent on paper. Like they had a upside down, massively upside down point differential, like stupid stuff like that. But like the Packers last year, for all there are, DVOA and ELO and that kind of stuff that you can look at that says like, the Packers were kind of decent last year. It was just like the way that they would lose when they did lose. They would just get their doors blown off for 2.5 or 3 quarters and then make the score look respectable in garbage time.
I think so.
And come up short. Like that it was just crushing to watch. Like
other than the
so many times we go up against a top NFC opponent and you get to a point where all of a sudden it's like, oh look, we're down 3-27, and then we end the game like 27-3 or something. It's like, okay, yeah, it was a nice valiant comeback at the end, but it would have been nice if you would have just played some sound football fundamentals prior to that point.
That was certainly a thing with the first Vikings game, right? It was never a 31-29 game, for sure.
And the first Lions game,
the first Detroit game, the second Detroit game, they were in it.
That was a little different,
blow for blow type of thing going on. I feel like the second Minnesota game was also like
both Eagles games were competitive. Both Eagles games were competitive.
They certainly were playing well to start that Philly game in the opener for sure. But yeah, the Chicago ones were weird because it felt like both Chicago games were like kind of like, why aren't you putting the foot down type of thing? Where it's like the against some of the bigger contenders when they lose, it was like, yeah, you're kind of out of it and you're coming back. Other than that Detroit game, the Chicago games were like, why are they still here? Like, why are they still in this game?
Both Chicago games,
yes, 100%.
Both Chicago games,
yeah, not even
both Chicago games. You're watching and you're like,
why are
the Packers just don't want to win this game?
Why are we?
It was all self-inflicted. Both of those games, I looked at and I said, like, give the Bears the win because they're actually trying. They're actually trying to win this. They stink, but they're playing sound football, to the best of their meager abilities.
Yeah. So,
Ayers says, I see a 13-4 season. Myers is gone. That is addition by subtraction. We have Golden. That is addition by addition. Morgan could be good, and hopefully Ryan too. Again, I just
hope for one of those.
Like, do we know that Ryan is the starting right guard? I don't think we know that. I think it's still a 3-man race between Ryan, Morgan, and Belton for right guard. Like, even though Belton and Morgan are both getting reps at the tackles, like, I don't think that's a good sign for Ryan. I think, like, they want those guys out there. So that to me says, like, they would still be heavily in the mix for right guard once we know that they are not going to be allowed to play either tackle job. Chris says this offense has so many weapons.
My problem is like, how many of these weapons are you think about, like 3rd and 8, you think about, money downs and go, yeah, I trust them all on the roster. I mean, you can put Jacobs in there, right? Like, if it's a 3rd and 8 and they're running it, I'm like, yeah, Jacobs, yeah, he got this type of thing, right? Like, I'm comfortable with Jacobs, comfortable with Kraft, and I think I'm comfortable with Golden. After that, the receiver that I'd be most comfortable with is coming off of a torn ACL. Who knows when we're going to see him? So I don't know. I don't know. We kind of talked about this, right? Even before they drafted Golden, of like, Kraft is probably, I would probably funnel my passing game through Tucker Kraft, even though we need him though, as the inline player. So,
which again, like we've talked about this a few times now, it makes that tight end conversation interesting because I'm still on team. I think we keep 4 tight ends.
Yeah, we should start moving.
So we can do that. I can share this. Actually, let me switch this. I'm gonna put this over here.
While you're doing that, Ayers, you mentioned it. JJ sees 13-4. Chris says, "Don't stone me to death." I think 9 and 8.
I thought we were a 13-4 team
11
a year ago. I thought we were a 13-4 team a year ago, and then the interior offensive line couldn't do anything, and the receivers couldn't catch balls that were hitting them in the hands.
Yeah.
So I'm hesitant to say that we're better than we were last year until I know that those simple problems that should not have been problems last year, but inexplicably were.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know that those are not going to be problems again this year too.
Yeah.
And like so far, based on just the little bit that we saw in the preseason, which is, as we talked about, it's not predictive. Right. But like the answers have not been positive for us. So I have. Oh, do you want to read another one? Who the heck are Steve and Sam? I don't.
That's
last
check
names.
The mic. That's Steve Palazzolo, Sam Monson. Formerly PFF.
Yeah, I know those names. Yeah. I don't.
Formerly or currently with 33rd, maybe formerly. I don't know.
I don't think I've ever heard either of them talk. I didn't know they had a podcast. So I guess I don't really care about their opinion. I know I've seen tweets from Sam, and I've never thought just by reading his tweets that he seemed like a guy who had any kind of familiarity with the Packers roster. He's always seemed, not very much like he had a finger on the pulse of what's going on in Green Bay, but whatever. I'm not saying he's a bad dude.
Okay, they are currently 33rd. Okay, I thought so. I don't know if they took it to the Eagles more than anyone else. Rams had him on the ropes,
I've heard people say that like down the stretch that they thought that the Packers put up the best fight like in the playoffs of anybody who went up against the Eagles, because the Eagles did kind of steamroll everybody else that they faced in the playoffs, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess playoff wise, maybe Rams kind of backdoored a little bit. I think down the stretch, not including playoffs, is easily Carolina who put up the best fight of anybody against them, and where Xavier will get dropped from beating them at the end of the game. Playoffs, maybe you can make that argument, but regular season plus playoffs would be the Panthers. But defensively, certainly, right? Like the defense did everything they possibly could to hold the Eagles to 22. So, all right, we ready to roll?
Brian says Steve and Sam are big PFF guys. I just wanted to address one thing real quick that I know I've said 100 times, but it's worth saying again. I really like PFF's stats, and I actually think that their grading process is pretty decent. I think you can get a lot of value out of their grades. Their entire media crew, I can do without.
Sure.
Whoever is posting on social media or doing podcasts for them or whatever, I'm just going to say, those people do not look at PFF's own grades or stats. They have no clue what PFF's own grades say about these players. You see these guys who are like, oh man, on the PFF social media or on a podcast or whatever, and they're like, well, here's, so-and-so is a wide receiver 1. And then you go look and like they have the 65th best grade among wide receivers from PFF. So I have zero interest in what any of the PFF media says. As far as I can tell, it's a completely different department than the people who do any of their grading. It's just like, hey, we need a social media presence to help market our grades and stuff. But
yeah. All right. They probably got cocky against the Panthers. Listen, that's an Eagles problem. Then don't do it. I
trap game.
Can only look at what we're looking at. Like, I don't know.
Let's
all right.
Since we had the DT question, why don't we start with defense?
Sure.
And so we'll fill out our defensive tackle and nose tackle first. I'm going to go ahead.
I don't know. I feel like we should do the other ones on defense first to get a good idea of the number. So then it starts going up, and you go, okay, this is where.
I think what we do is we put the roster locks on first, and then we come through and backfill where we can backfill. Because that's going to be a thing everywhere we go. But like Stackhouse is on the roster. Fight me. You can't tell me he's not making the roster.
No, I think that makes sense.
Kenny is on the roster. Wyatt's on the roster.
Yeah.
Hopefully, in week 7, he will have started more games for us than he has at any point in his career in a row. That'd be nice, or just period.
Yeah.
So Warren Brinson in or out right now here?
I mean, are we putting Brooks in there first? Are we not?
Well, I'm putting Brooks in here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I want first. Brooks at defensive end, but yeah, he's playing defensive tackle for us.
Yeah.
So this leaves us with 3 guys here: Wooden Brinson and a guy named Devontae O'Malley, who I believe played at Toledo.
I think so.
So I feel like of those 3, Brinson's job is relatively safe since he's a draft pick this year.
Draft pick certainly helps him.
So just as a reminder, historically, we keep 5.7 defensive tackles. So we're currently at 4. So I feel like adding one more feels pretty safe.
Yeah,
we're going to keep
let's
5.
do it. Georgia boys.
We're going Brinson then?
Yeah, I think.
Georgia over Auburn. Oh.
Oh,
you see Auburn announced today that they are claiming 4 more national titles?
Listen, I thought the SEC was, against that, saying, why is UCF claiming a national championship, type of thing. They weren't in the championship game. Saw a lot of that, and now they're doing it too. Again, I'm not ever going to be on Team UCF for claiming nonsense like that. Like, the claiming stuff is boring. Go win.
As far as I'm concerned, like, the precedent has been set here. Michigan claims like 8
well, that's
very disputed titles.
Well, there's
why not? I just claim whatever you want to. Who cares? Since we're not going to keep any official.
Brett Bielema, go start claiming last year. Start claiming it. Claim it. Claim it for fun. Since the SEC wants to,
let Oregon claim. Some pollster or somebody named Oregon the national champions before the playoffs started. So yeah, but Oregon claimed one.
They have a better. Yeah, they have.
I think Ohio State should claim one for 2012, since we're just claiming whatever we want to claim. Like, sure, we didn't go to the bowls, but what 12-0. I mean, that's
claim it.
There were pollsters who
stick your neck out
Ohio
for
State listed as number 1 in the country despite not going to the bowls.
Yeah, stick your neck out. I guess.
Okay. Defense. So we can circle back on these last 2 defensive tackles.
All right.
Defensive end. Obviously, we got a few locks here. So Rashan is a lock. Where's LVN? LVN. He's a lock. Then we got Barryn. Barryn Sorrell is a lock. Is he hurt right now?
He is.
Maybe we circle back. Well, let's put him on here. He's a freaking 4th round pick. They're not.
Yeah.
If we need to put him on PUP or something, we can't put him on PUP. If we got designated him for
it's like a knee. It's like a knee sprain or something. It's not the serious one, but it's like a Kingsley.
I think Kingsley is a lock.
Yeah.
There's people who don't.
I would think so.
Do you think he's a lock?
Yeah.
Okay. I sent you a link the other day.
I don't think there's been enough. I mean, Sorrell injury. Oliver hasn't done anything. I don't know how you're not keeping him. No shade.
Since I'm driving on the spreadsheet, I need you to handle any comments that need to be pinned.
Yeah. United Bates, what's going on? Said Sorrell should be back in a few weeks.
It's good news.
So then probably not on there, even though Chris said Puppy could do it. We'll see where we're at. We'll see where we're at.
So historically, 4.9 for defensive. Well, it's muddy with all the defensive front here because
it's also
because of the scheme switch.
Yeah. Also, what's Colin Oliver actually? Right. Don't know.
Well, Colin Oliver might be injury. We really haven't seen it yet.
That's also true. Yeah.
This is where it gets tricky for sure.
12 for this. I appreciate the dono. Hopefully you can watch the rest of the 53 that you so generously donated for tomorrow. But we appreciate you as always.
Tool for this. When you're coming back here trying to find this, we are at 1 hour and 50 minutes in.
There you go. 1 hour and 50.
Scroll that part.
Yeah.
Love you, buddy. All right. I kind of. Do you think there's anybody else who we can safely lock in here right now at defensive end? Because I'm not feeling comfortable right now with all the injury situation. I think that these 2 guys would be the next up to go on, but we don't know the injury situation for Colin Oliver.
Yeah, we can always circle back.
All right, let's do linebacker. So
perfect. All 4 of those guys are in the same little line together.
Just grab them.
Perfect. Love that.
And they're in the red order too.
It's pretty good. We'll take that.
So we're at our historical threshold right here, 4.3. And I feel like these are kind of the only safe locks.
Yeah.
I would probably. Oh, there's my extra guy. I knew I had an extra guy on here that was making my numbers not add up. I had Jamon Johnson and Jamon Dumas Johnson. So I would say so Jared Bartlett to me is out, but the other 3 guys are kind of on even footing for our next linebacker.
It's true. Well, we can get the
corner
specialists in there.
Can do that. So I will say, when we did this earlier this year, I put long snapper TBD that he just wasn't even on the roster. But unfortunately, I just got to freaking do this.
Yeah.
Right?
You have to do it.
They're not even going to work anybody out. So.
Listen, the Packers are paying us to do that.
Look, the Packers don't care. Why should I care?
The
Packers don't care about long snapper. Why should I care?
Well, that's probably also that's true.
We got tooled on X chat. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's coming in and doing both. Love that.
All right, for corner, I mean, we're hoping Nate Hobbs gets fully healthy, but he's the money guy right there. Yep. And then Carrington CB2. So then at that point, like Bo Melton,
Bo's
roster lock.
Yeah, he's on team.
Bo's roster lock.
Are we putting Keisean at nickel, I guess?
No. Well, I wasn't going to. Okay. Because they keep trying to play him at freaking boundary.
Okay, well, he's got to go on their boundary.
I'd like him as the slot corner. It's kind of the only place I like seeing him play.
Yep. He's got to go on there.
Okay, by the way, stock down on Kamal Haddon.
Oh, that's a good one.
I have seen enough from Kamal Haddon. Appreciate the effort. My dude does not have it. Here's a problem, though. So we're at 3 out of 6. Micah Robinson, who has not shown us anything, is a draft pick, and so he's probably going to stay.
Well, Keisean's on there, so 3 of 6, so we can do a 4.
I don't really want Keisean on there, but okay.
Oh, you got to
keep him there.
Got to do it to him.
I'm going to say my next guy is Valentine.
Okay.
I say we're keeping Valentine. Where are you on Valentine? On or off? Or on, off, or just not ready yet? Do you want to circle back?
I'm unsure on Valentine, but if you want to put him on there, that's totally fine. I don't know where we're landing on Kalen King, honestly. As somebody who has, to be very clear, keeping track of the preseason games, for Green Bay, going back through them, definitely still doing a lot of rookie stuff and last year's rookie stuff. So this one I don't have a good feel for. Valentine versus King. I do not have a good feel for this one. I don't know if the chat has any feel.
What do we think about Micah? Has Micah Robinson done anything to keep himself off of the roster? Because we know how much Goody likes keeping his rookies.
Yeah, that's the one thing that excuse me, could sway it. I don't know. I have seen some say Valentine's out and King's in, but I just don't have any finger on the pulse at all.
I feel like they're going to keep at least
one of them.
One of these 3 guys right here.
Yeah.
At least one. I'm entirely out on Kamal Haddon. If they want to stash him in the practice squad, whatever. I think he looks completely lost out there.
I'd rather just make sure Baldwin's on the practice squad.
Yeah, you like him?
Yeah, I would like him on the practice squad for sure. Hopefully.
I thought he played a really nice game against the Colts.
Yes.
Let's circle back on corner. We know we have to put probably 2 more guys on here at least.
Most likely, yeah.
But also nickel. So nickel is included in here.
There might be some interchange stuff with safety too. So
here's the other thing. We can't put Javon Bullard at nickel because that's not what the Packers are doing. The Packers keep telling us he's a safety. So we have to.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it doesn't mean I'm going to put him ahead of Oladapo on my depth chart. I think safety is
this is fine. We'll let the Packers decide who the nickel is. We're just going to fill corner and safety. So that's that. That's that deal.
What do we do here about
the Zane Anderson injury? Super serious.
Zane, I don't know anything about Zane Anderson's injury. I know Omar Brown is in the hospital right now. Is Zane hurt?
I thought he was. Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't a big. Maybe it wasn't a big thing. Maybe that was that the
Zane
first
Anderson
preseason game? Was that the first preseason? Might have been the first
one. Anderson is as of 1 week ago, so he got hurt in the Jets preseason game, and all right, let's see here. This article is going to tell me what's up with him. Zane Anderson has a knee injury. He's still out. So Xavier, McKinney, Zane Anderson, and Omar Brown are all missing practice right now.
Okay.
Chris says, does Keisean King play much special teams? Jake, do you have any special team stats in front of you can take a look at?
Yeah, I can look at them real quick. Keisean King played 16 special team snaps throughout preseasons, at least so far. 62.5 is our grade that I see here.
What did he do last year as far as snap count on special teams?
Is good for 8th. Last year, excuse me. 24. 26 total in preseason, 65 grade in regular season, nothing because he was on the practice squad.
Chris says Bullard should stick in slot, correct? So we were just saying that's what we would do. That is not what the Packers are saying they're going to do. They view him as a safety. So
they just want to be in base defense, guys. They don't want a
something like this. We have to defer to the Packers.
They're not playing a nickel. They don't. They're like Brett Favre. They're like, I don't know what that is. Never heard of it. What's that?
Dude, they're going to roll into this year with 8 DBs total and then just never play any nickel defense. And they're going to stash like 4 guys on the practice squad at DB and be it.
There's going to be some like incredible intro music week 1 and it's Bo Melton walking out to nickel.
I know. It's a weird fit. We need at least 3 more defenders.
That's Bo Melton's music. Oh, man. Like I don't see
at least 3 more defenders, and
they're calling the defensive starters, and you got the binoculars. Oh my gosh, Bo Melton's he's not on the field yet. They're gonna call his name. He's starting nickel. It's gonna be a madhouse.
What would be his theme song though? Like if they are gonna actually literally play his music, what's his theme song? Oh man, any songs about going both ways or
can go your own way. Another day. That would be interesting. Okay. How many?
I asked ChatGPT, "What's a song about going both ways?" And I should have.
I was gonna say that might not be what you're looking.
I shouldn't have phrased it that way.
No, I can think of a song that might fit that one. Yeah.
All right. What about
Fleetwood Mac, Go Your Own Way? This is the way, I think.
What about Two-Way Street by Kimbra?
I don't know that one.
I don't know who Kimbra is, but that's what ChatGPT says.
I don't know that one, but yeah, definitely. G Cheddarbug, welcome. Says poor choice of words.
Welcome,
indeed. Indeed.
We need to put another cornerback on here. We really need 2 more cornerbacks, and honestly, we need a defensive end. So that would kind of 2 DBs and a defensive lineman is what we need to add, minimum. I think like gun to my head, I would say today, like Zane Anderson probably makes the roster over Omar Brown. The fact they're both injured makes this hard. But do you disagree with Zane making the roster over Omar?
No.
But we like Omar.
They're gonna go 5 safeties.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We think
Especially since Bullard is so unproven,
and they're gonna go 5 corners.
Yeah. So
10 DBs. Are we gonna stay with 4 backers? That might happen. If it's 10 DBs, it might be 4 backers then.
It might have to be.
Because what are we at? We're 20.
I mean, my gut says that Simmons does make the roster. My gut says that.
I don't think so. I think they're cutting him.
We need another defensive lineman, though. We only have 9. And
this is true.
Usually
Brenton Cox,
usually we
Colin
keep
Oliver,
11.
Right? Those guys are on there still.
Well, it's those 2 guys. Like nobody else is really.
Are you picking one? Or are you saying take both?
Maybe we just put both on here for right now.
So no Kalen King, no. Unless it's 26-24, but
Colin Oliver is just tough because of the injury. Like I think Colin Oliver is probably
going to go to reserve
injured designated return.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe we just stick him over here.
I think so. I think that happens.
So it's Brenton Cox, and then
it's 24. So then you have if you're taking another
King or Valentine.
Right?
Chat, what do you think? King versus Valentine. We'll let you guys.
Drew says Oliver in the IR spot, which I think that makes sense.
Yeah. That's probably it. Drew says King would make the team over Robinson. No problem cutting a 7th rounder. Well, I'm not asking if you would cut a 7th rounder. I'm saying would Goody, and Goody doesn't like cutting 7th rounders.
I mean, there's a chance it's 6 corners and then Micah goes down to practice squad potentially. Or King.
Well, that'd be 5-5.
Right.
I mean, so like it's these 3 guys. It's these 3 guys.
It is.
It's none of the other.
And I don't know what to. I genuinely don't know what to think. Like other than the point of like draft picks,
draft and develop, right? Yeah. I kind of think we've seen enough from King. And I think the Packers might think we've seen enough from King.
Possibly. I know that big play that Richardson had where, unfortunately, my guy Adonai Mitchell was offsides. I mean, King played it perfectly. Just the throw was perfect. So, that's one of those things that stood out. Do they think King is the nickel? That's really interesting. I have no idea. Maybe.
I don't think so.
It's hard. It's hard because King has the build when you're asking a nickel to fill. But I don't think he's quick enough to handle the other part of playing nickel. Right? And that's what makes it extremely tricky.
I kind of just feel like stalling and just doing some offense.
Stalling. I'm good with that.
So, Josh Jacobs, Emmanuel Wilson. I mean, is there any thought that Emmanuel Wilson is not making the 53?
No, he's making it.
I've seen people leave him off of their 53.
I don't know how that's possible. How?
And then I'm putting Chris Brooks on here as RB3.
How? I think they're hoping that Johnson and Abanikanda can just stick on the practice squad.
I think so, too.
So
MarShawn, Lloyd, making the roster.
If either of those guys were threatening heavily, like because they were really good and can pass block, then maybe you take Chris Brooks off. But they like Chris Brooks and Lloyd's a draft pick. The 4 makes perfect sense. And I don't know about QB going 3rd. Elgersma, very cool.
They're not keeping 3 quarterbacks.
Still paying the tariff, but
I'll say I think that Elgersma makes the practice squad and Clifford doesn't.
That would be my guess as to right now, yeah. You can put wide receiver 1 Matthew Golden on the board.
Absolutely. I'm happy to do that.
Awesome.
Nothing would make me happier.
Love that.
Matthew Golden, and then I'm gonna say Reed's roster spot is still
Watson
safe.
Won't be on it, right?
Well,
Doubs is safe.
I don't know. I Watson might make the 50.
Maybe.
Doubs is going on there.
Doubs is locked.
Oh, Wicks is still a lock for now.
Yeah. I don't know how far along they think this is going and whatnot, but
For Watson?
yeah. Because their timetable, Savion's he's 3rd round pick. So, he's
I think these two dudes are both going on here.
Okay, so then Watson,
Watson,
it's got to be.
For now, I'm going to put him right here.
Okay.
I probably would reserve injured him.
There's 9 spots.
I think the Packers want him back.
There's 9 spots left. Or I guess, well, depends. I guess defense you've only got 23. But there's 16 offense, and we haven't put the tight ends on there.
We could not keep Luke Musgrave. That would solve some stuff.
Well, we could, yeah. We could certainly not do it.
I'm saying these are the 4 tight ends. Do you disagree with me?
No, not at all.
Let me make an adjustment. There we go.
I like it.
All right, so we have 5 more spots to fill for. See, this is the problem. We have 4 running backs.
So I mean,
4
Watson
running backs
and
and 7 receivers.
Watson has to be reserved, and Hardman might not even be.
I think Hardman's making it, man. I really do. He's going to be our punt returner. If they're not putting anybody else out there at punt return.
Yeah.
He just kind of got that locked up, I think. But, then this leaves Malik Heath on the outside looking in, which is harsh. I would say Malik would be the first guy back on the board if you didn't keep McCall.
Yeah.
United Bates said, I think Watson returns week 6 after our super early bye. Just my gut feeling, nothing credible. That makes sense.
Makes sense for Green Bay.
Allow me to say for the billionth time, you shouldn't have expectations of Watson. And when they rush him back way too soon and he looks like crap, please don't go, wow, Christian Watson, we can't believe he's out on the field. Yay, it's a miracle. Oh man, he sucks.
Yeah. What did you just say before that? I'm sorry. Miracle? I hear that. Yeah, exactly. That deal. Malik Heath, so sorry. It was over after you dropped that pass against the Jets.
I just think it's a numbers thing for Malik. I would still keep him, but it's a numbers thing.
Yeah, that's part of it. But man,
they're keeping Anthony Belton.
Wow, bold.
And I would say,
would you say Morgan is making it?
I think Belton is probably going to be the starting right guard.
Potentially. Or Ryan just takes it. Sheed, Morgan. Ryan's going to make it, obviously.
We need 2 more. Let me condense this a little bit. So here's some problems. John Williams is going here. How many we can only designate 3 guys for return, right? Isn't that true?
It's 3 or 4, yeah.
So these 3 guys right here are not designated for return. Man. Their seasons are over.
Oh, okay.
Where's the thing? Strike through.
There we go.
These 3 guys are not designated for return. So right now, you kind of expect these to be the 3 who are designated for return.
Yeah. Drew says
so looking
8.
at the rest of our
Drew says
O-line group.
I thought 8 is just a number of guys that over the full season can be labeled for return. No?
Oh, I thought he was saying we're going to keep 8 offensive linemen.
Oh, maybe. That's possible.
Let's ask ChatGPT. It can go Google this for us.
Yeah,
How many players can
there's a concurrent number, I thought.
Designate for return when they do their shot. And ChatGPT says 2.
2.
Teams are allowed to designate up to 2 players placed on an applicable reserve list at the business day of the final roster reduction. These designations count toward the team's regular season limit of 8 total return designations. So that means...
Okay, Drew was saying 8 total for the... Yeah, okay.
That means if we have 3, then we would have to keep one of these guys on the roster and then place them on IR after...
Unless John Williams' season is over.
And that might be. That might be for Colin Oliver.
Well,
I would say John Williams' injury is more serious than Colin Oliver, as far as we can tell.
It seems that way. That would probably make more sense.
But they haven't done that with him yet.
No.
So they still are holding out hope for him.
Well, we can.
But we only have 7 offensive linemen right now, and we need to find at least 2 more.
Yeah. Of
this pile of slop. Like I would say,
they probably like
Dean Telfort.
They probably like Monk.
Dude, I don't like Monk.
I don't
fire that guy.
I know you don't, but I think they're keeping him. Boy, I hope you're not putting him under guard.
What I've been seeing. Oh, yeah.
There we go. That's
note where it says center/guard. I didn't write that. Packers wrote that.
Yeah. Monk has a hamstring.
Trey Hill is out of here. Lasita Smith, I don't think is good. Donovan Jennings has been bad. Donovan Jennings has looked bad in the preseason games, which it hurts for me to say because I've been high on him as a prospect. Drew says Monk has a hamstring injury. I mean, I don't want to celebrate an injury, but like if we didn't have to waste a roster spot on him.
Yeah, I mean, Lasitas,
if we could give Goody a reason to say, like, well, we'll look at him again next summer.
Yeah, based on PFF, yeah, Donovan Jennings, no. Lasita Smith from PFF has been
I thought
good.
Donovan Jennings just got his butt whipped all game against
PFF.
The Colts.
PFF would agree. Among the lowest blocking grades. Now, it's not as low as some.
Isaiah Simmons?
The pass blocking grades. Jennings is the 6th lowest.
Was he higher than Monk? I bet he's higher than Monk.
He is higher than Monk, yes. Monk's is at 21 through 67 snaps. Tyler Cooper's is a 24. The bad one is Aaron Banks is a 6.5. Boy, that needs to get better, folks. Maybe maybe Belton starting left guard. I don't know. Anyway, not ideal, but again, to go back up, Lasita Smith, pretty good across the board, actually in both phases, according to PFF. 21 snaps. Telford's been good, 64 snaps. He's probably making the team. I agree. I think that
I would keep Telford, and Telford kind of has some trust with them too.
Yeah, you know who else has been a good pass blocker this preseason, according to PFF? Trey Hill.
Well, that's not the question we have about Trey Hill.
That's
not the question we have.
But if we're asking a question about Trey Hill, you know what? You know where Green Bay likes to lean in terms of what are you good at?
It's pass pro.
The thing he's good at so far this,
Can I off topic for a second? If I turn on this air conditioner right here, can you hear it?
Right guard. I heard the button, but I didn't.
Do you hear the air conditioner at all?
No.
It's like 10,000 degrees in this room, so I kind of want to cool off for a little bit. If you guys can hear it and it's annoying, please say something in the chat because I'll shut it off in a hurry.
Seemed more comfortable, according to the PFF grades, more comfortable at the right guard spot than the center spot. Even though the pass blocking was pretty similar for both. So it'd be Trey Hill's.
According to the PFF grades, what? They do what? What did you say?
I said for PFF, they liked his game at right guard against the Jets better than he had 31 snaps at center against the Colts. They thought that was better overall. Pass blocking was similar. So,
and is this Monk or Hill?
This is Hill. Monk. Okay. Monk, I think we know how it went.
I mean, here's the thing. Jacob Monk is not, and I can say this emphatically, is not an NFL guard.
That is,
if he can play on the offensive line in the NFL, it was going to have to be at center.
Yeah, we know where it is.
Can I ask you about Travis Glover? So Travis Glover's hurt, right?
Yes.
And I saw massive wringing of the hands over him getting injured, and some content creators and beat people talking about like, oh man, this Travis Glover injury really means that Anthony Belton and Jordan Morgan are going to have to step up, blah, blah, blah. Are you more on that side, or are you more on the side where I am of like, you guys are crazy and Travis Glover is like the only reason he's here at all is because Goody spent a draft pick on him?
No, that's 100% why he's here. That's 100% why he's here. There's no, I don't know why else it would be. They're doing the they're doing the Caleb Jones, Luke Tenuta thing, but they drafted him instead this time. That's what this is to me. Because you watch Glover, Glover play at left tackle.
Glover's not athletic.
No, like you watch him at left tackle in the couple games I had of him pre-draft, and it's like, boy, this is years away from being a year away type of stuff here. And like
Travis Glover had a 4.71 RAS.
Doesn't surprise me.
His shuttle was 4.84. His 3-cone was 8.09. Thank you. Oh, wow. My beverage service just brought me 3 to choose from, including, here's a beverage that does not need to sponsor the show for me to give them a shout out.
Water. Oh,
Spotted Cow.
There you go.
I will name drop Spotted Cow. I don't need to be bribed to do that.
May I say
which one I want.
Not to get off topic a little bit, but Fitzpatrick in the run game this preseason. Yes. Again, pass blocking I'm not as concerned about because, again, I think if you're pass blocking as a tight end, one, they're keeping Kraft in there to do it. So,
sure.
If they're max protecting, with 6 or more, like Kraft's going to be in there.
Well, I guess, but like if you want to run a 12 personnel,
certainly
you're not. I mean, we don't want Luke Musgrave out there. So if we're going to do Kraft and Fitzpatrick, then we want Kraft out there running the route.
Sure.
If we're doing 12 and throwing and having a tight end run a route, we want it to be Kraft who's running that route. So for that reason, I would like. Okay, take this.
There's one way to
Ben Sims gets an injury. If Ben Sims gets an injury,
then I know
it has to be Fitzpatrick because otherwise we can't have Kraft running sets out of 12.
Sure.
Because we know for a fact that our big, slow wide receiver, Luke Musgrave, can't block.
Correct.
And we don't really want him running routes. We don't want to be having him catch the ball either.
Okay, so he has had 2 pass blocking snaps.
That is not a big enough sample size to draw any conclusions from at all. Whether he was good or bad.
Well, it was bad though. The number was bad. So it's 1 good rep, 1 bad rep. So I don't know.
Yeah, you can't draw a conclusion.
So we're not going to draw it from that. That's why
I thought he did a fine job pass blocking at Georgia. I thought he was a really solid blocker at Georgia.
Yeah.
Chris says Ben Sims tight end 2. I co-sign on that. I'm fine with that. Absolutely. Ben Sims is my tight end 2. Look at that. Right there. Proof.
Can we trade for?
So I just had a thought here.
Yeah, no, the blocking was fine at Georgia. There's no final 2 seasons were good.
I had a thought.
Okay.
So if we flip over here and look at this historical thing that I've been keeping track of this every year. Okay.
I was wondering.
This is the initial 53. And one thing you may notice is that it is not usually 25 and 25.
Right.
It's usually like 24 and 26. All right, like it's there. It's not always flat.
Yes.
It goes back and forth. So right now we have 25 on offense, and we'd like to keep another 1 or 2. And then on defense, we're at 23, and kind of struggling to figure out where we're going to get our last guy.
Probably at corner would be the.
Well, it might be corner, but it also might be linebacker. We only have 4 linebackers. We also only have 5 defensive tackles. It would be kind of nice to keep 6, especially since that's a position that we're kind of scared about. So I thought maybe what we should do is grab the remaining guys who we most would want on the roster, particularly kind of put our thumb on the scale a little extra or a lot if we think that they are big-time special teams contributors, because that is definitely where those last couple guys are earning their roster spots.
Sure.
So do you like that plan?
I do. I do indeed.
So I think like Colby Wooden is in the mix. I would say Aaron Mosby is in the mix a little bit. These 3 corners. And then I would say Isaiah Simmons is in the mix. Maybe Christian Welch. I think JDJ seems like practice squad to me.
As much as I wanted him to do it this year, it feels like that's where we're headed.
I would say Omar
Baldwin.
Brown.
Yeah, him, Baldwin, Dumas Johnson, Baldwin, and like Amar Johnson are like, I'm like, please still be on the practice squad. Honestly, Trey Hill a little bit as well. Like, please be on the practice squad.
I might bump Amar Johnson a little higher than those other guys we just talked about. Like, just because he's been really lights out in the 2 preseason games. I might put like both of these 2 wide receivers kind of in the mix a little bit. Johnny Lumpkin, not somebody we ever talk about, but he played really well in both preseason games. I think he was the highest graded player via PFF in the Colts preseason game. I think
he's 6th overall
in the NFL
for a Packers offense
for the Packers
through 2 preseason games. So yeah, it's Tom.
I don't know that I want to include him on here, but
I do like what I see at the top here. Tom number 1, Amar Johnson number 2, Jordan Morgan number 3. Feels good that 2 of the 3 are 2 guys who we assume to be in some capacity starting offensive linemen this year. Lasita Smith, Will Shepard, Johnny Lumpkin close out your top 6. Brian being 9th is nice. That's helpful.
I think this to me, and then we'll put JDJ and Kamal Had. These feel like maybe priority practice squad ads right here.
Yeah.
Plus, whoever doesn't make it out of this pile.
Yeah.
So, all right, position-wise, we got most cornerbacks and wide receivers. Although I maybe fudged the wide receivers a little bit. Like, I don't think Julian Hicks or Will Shepard are really making the roster, but I kind of wanted them in the conversation.
Okay.
So, for special teams, did Colby Wooden play a lot of special teams for us last year?
Let me double check on that.
Let's see. Drew says, watch Lumpkin make it over Sims. I don't understand the Ben Sims hate. There's a lot of Ben Sims hate among like other Packers content creators. I don't understand it. I really don't know where it's coming from at all. I feel like I missed something big.
51 total snaps for Wooden, 77 grade.
Okay, so I'm going to say that's a pretty strong
that will help.
Special teams nod for him.
Sure.
Aaron Mosby, of course. Corey Valentine, of course, and Isaiah Simmons and Christian Welch. These are some special teams. Let me see here. These guys, special teams for sure. Israel Abanikanda has kind of been doing all of our kick return stuff for the preseason games. Again, not saying I think we're going to keep this many running backs. Like 4 feels crazy to me. And we're only in that position because of MarShawn not being able to stay healthy at all. Daryl says, have not seen Lumpkin make plays and be productive. I like Sims, just don't think the Packers do when they made him a healthy scratch during the playoffs. I don't know. I don't know what that's about either, because he played a lot. The crazy thing is they just didn't have any tight ends last year outside of Kraft. They had a one-man show in that room. But whatever. Oh, and Malik Heath, big special teams contributor. Again, to me, these are the guys that I just don't know. We've seen big special teams indicators.
I would go.
We need another corner. And
Wooden,
this is
Wooden
what's so
King.
hard.
Wooden King, I think, are the two.
Where did I put Wooden? Oh, there's Wooden. I just don't know about King. That's what I don't
either,
really
but
don't
I'm
know
guessing.
about.
I'm guessing.
See, like, to me, King is a hard case to make because Valentine played a lot of snaps for us on defense last year. A lot. And Micah is a draft pick this year. Didn't King get waived at one point and picked back up on the practice squad? Wasn't he on the practice squad?
He was on the practice
I think Kalen
squad.
King was on the practice squad.
He was.
He was. So that's a knock against him, man. That they've already made the decision to move on from him once.
Yeah, they have.
I feel like of the three cornerbacks, King to me is the least likely. Of those three cornerbacks, he seems like the least likely to make the roster. I feel like Mike is the most likely to make it, and Corey would kind of be my pick. Plus, like if they keep Micah, I just don't know that I think he's going to get any playing time. Whereas if Corey makes it, I think he's going to get playing time.
I'll leave it to you. I think Wooden is in the corner.
It's wild to think that,
don't know.
Like, the cornerback room is in this state where, like, we have four guys here. One of them is a converted wide receiver this year. One of them, we have said, like, we just don't think he can really play. And yet we still only really feel confident in keeping four guys. It's just wild to me that this is our cornerback situation.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Daryl says Valentine played more snaps than the 1 or year CBs. He's a vet who's been wanting to make plays. He fits well with Hafley's scheme. Can I tell you where I am leaning?
Yeah, please.
I'm leaning
by all means.
Isaiah Simmons makes the roster as a special teamer.
No.
I think he makes the roster as a special teamer, man.
I can't.
Or maybe Malik Heath as
That's
a special
really
teamer.
low at corner if you do that.
I'm just saying, keeping Micah Robinson does not make me feel better. Keeping Micah Robinson does not make me feel better about corner.
I know.
Keeping Corey Valentine does.
That's fine.
Like, is Micah Robinson Grant Dubose? Like
maybe
the 7th round rookie who wasn't healthy enough to practice, and then we put him on there because he was a
7th round pick on that corner room, baby. We're gonna do this till the end of time. 7th round corners.
Oh, Valentine, yeah. I feel like it's Valentine.
The 25-25.
There's more bodies on offense that I feel like need to be on here. Again, we could get rid of Jacob Monk or Matt Orzek. Solves a lot of problems. We could get rid of Luke Musgrave.
Well, certainly. Sam Shields.
Daryl said Micah Robinson might be on practice squad after the roster cut. They usually sign some back to. I would assume if they cut him, that they will bring him back.
So sorry, that's like 7th round pick Kalen King as well. Wow, really like doing this. So,
So the question was, do we have room for both Brinson and Stackhouse? And the answer was, we put Wooden on after either one of those guys. I think it was too old for this who asked that question. Pretty sure.
Lloyd or Anderson?
Drew said Lloyd or Anderson could be injury guys. Yeah, so that's true. But remember, we can only do 2. We can only have 2 who we put on IR before the cut down. We already have 3. I think Colin Oliver is probably the safest bet to be designated for return. Christian Watson, there's a better chance that he's just on the 53. And John Williams, I think there's a better chance that his season is over.
Yeah, I think that the Watson thing of I forget who brought it up. Bates maybe did, of week 6 after the bye.
Mm-hmm.
That would certainly track for be on 4 games designated to return type of thing.
Yeah, but the question is the question to me is there somebody besides Colin Oliver, a second person who they feel hey, this guy's going to be ready to come back in week 8 or week 10 or something like that. Whereas we think Watson is going to potentially be earlier than that. That's the whole thing for me. And that's why I would think Christian Watson maybe is just a really good candidate for keep him on the 53 and then put him on IR the next day. Because then that lets you just return him, 3 weeks before you're ready for him to start playing. So it's tough.
It is. Practice squad should fill up pretty quickly.
Yeah, you want to do practice squad? That'd be kind of fun.
Sure. So we're leaving at 25-25. Watson stays, Oliver stays on that, and then Williams' season's over.
Well, so if we're doing that, so if we do that, let's say you said Oliver and who? Who's the other one who stays?
Watson, and then Williams, his season's over. True red shirt.
I think I would kind of be more inclined to put Watson there.
So who are we taking off then? Because you have to.
Corey Valentine. And then we're bringing another cornerback back on afterwards.
Okay. 7 receivers.
I mean, look, here's the thing. Okay, of your cornerbacks, who the heck are you scared is going to get sniped? No, none of these guys are getting sniped.
Probably not.
I think Goody probably is worried that Micah Robinson is getting sniped.
Potentially, yeah. He might be worried about that.
Have we talked much about Micah Robinson and what you thought of him as a draft prospect? Because he was not on my radar as a draft prospect. I didn't watch him.
Not too much. We didn't really get to talk about him that much. Let me grab some notes here real fast. Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is I didn't know if he was going to be on Green Bay's radar. I thought the other guy from Tulane was going to be. I mean, he is fast, right? He's got the 4.38 on his RAS card, but he was 183 at the combine. But I do remember an instinctive, quick player, and a guy who had all the functional athleticism to play the position. Potentially that position being nickel, right? And so if they're not saying anything about nickel and you kind of see that wide opening on that roster board there, it's kind of like, well, maybe that is the move. And maybe that's...
Could be.
Like you said, Goody's worried about it. So...
But also there's the health thing. This is the other thing, is that Micah's not healthy.
Well, then he could be tossed on that thing, and then John Williams' season's still over.
I think that feels like a possibility.
That could be something that happens.
So let's do the guys who we think are really not in play to make the 53, but are likely to be on the practice squad. So I would say Trey Hill.
Yep, has to be.
And then I would say we're in on JDJ.
Yes,
practice squad.
Absolutely.
Like, this is exactly where he belongs. Just raw, needs more development, but he's going to be a thing.
We are excited about where he's at relative to, relative to other practice squad players. I think Lumpkin probably is on there, huh?
Probably. So
those two probably.
Well, I was looking at these corners here, and we have. Well, here's how I think this pile of cornerbacks shakes up. I think Baldwin or Haddon or both end up on the practice squad. I think Valentine does not make the 53, but then after they stash Christian on IR, they bring Valentine back. And then I think King is just out of here. I think he's just done.
So 10 of the 16 must be rookies or players with no more than 2 accrued seasons.
10 of the 16. So JDJ counts. Is Trey Hill a rookie?
No, he's not a rookie. Unless I'm getting him confused. No, because he was in Cincinnati. So, no, it can't. No, he's definitely not. No, oh my gosh. 2025 is his 5th season.
Trey Hill?
Uh-huh.
Dude, it's over for Trey Hill. This whole time I thought he was a 1 or 2 year player.
No, that's
if
right.
If he can't play right now in year 5, like, what are we waiting for? I feel mean for saying it, but like, what are we waiting for? What jump are we thinking he's going to make in year 6?
No, this is year 5.
Yeah, but we're saying practice squad for him, which means we think the first time he would maybe be on our 53 would be next year.
Unless Monk gets hurt. And he is. Okay. So he would be one of the 6 that doesn't have that designation, right?
So Omar Brown, though, is a rookie. Or a second-year guy. Second-year guy. He was in the 24 draft.
Yeah, a second year. He has 1 year of experience. Lumpkin only has
Lamar Johnson is a rookie.
Yeah. Lumpkin only has 1 year.
I'm happy to keep Lumpkin over.
Obviously, Elgersma is a rook.
Is it possible to put Elgersma? Where is it? Where's the IPP slot?
Unless they're going to keep it for the kicker.
Dude, this he was bad, though. Like, you can't have a worse start than that. Here it is. But can Elgersma qualify for IPP? I think he can. Coach Lynn is asking Telfort on the 53 or practice squad.
We kept him.
Yeah, we got him.
We got him on.
We kept him
in the tackle.
Here. He was our 9th offensive lineman.
Oh no, it excludes Canada, so no.
Well, poop.
It's tough.
Then he's gonna go here. And
international must be not touching the landmass. Okay, okay. Coach Lynn wants him on there.
Which wide receiver?
Well,
I would say Isaiah Nair.
Nair and Shepard would count as under 2. Right. Shepard's a rook. Nair's a rook.
I like all 3 of the wide receivers I have selected
Heath,
here. And I like them better than Nair, but I think Nair is going to be the one.
Probably. Obviously, Heath has 3 seasons done. So, yeah, wait for him. Let's make sure we get the 10 on here. That Baldwin we think is going to be on there.
Yeah.
King would be another one who's under 2.
I think they'll keep Haddon over King, though.
You think so?
I wouldn't, but I think they will. I just think that I think we've seen what King has. I'm not saying I don't want to keep developing him. I just this Packers coaching staff, I don't know. Like, corner is just not one of those positions where they hold on to guys for 1,000 years. Tackle, they'll hold on to a tackle for 1 billion years. They'll hold on to a defensive tackle for 1 billion years. What else? Linebacker, center, I guess, but not corner. Corner, running back. They'll hold on to a depth running back for a very long time.
Yeah, I mean, Amar Johnson.
But they don't do that with corner. Name a corner that has just hung around. Like
they're gonna put Brant Banks on this.
Who's our 2019 6th round pick? His name began with a K.
2019 6th round pick.
He played at like Toledo. Kadar Holman.
Yeah, Kadar Holman. Yeah.
I think Kadar Holman is the only guy who's hung around for 1,000 years, and it was really like 2 years.
Well, if you're gonna do the tackle thing, like Brant Banks is a rookie, 6'7", 306.
I guess, yeah.
That could happen.
You say 6'7"?
Yeah.
I see him on the roster. Oh, he's over here.
He's probably over. Yeah. They'll probably do that. Yeah. I know. Sure. Daryl's mentioning Tyron Herring also.
Yeah. Have we ever seen anything from him though? I just don't feel like he's been that good.
I mean, if he's played during the. I have to keep going to PFF grades because they're not everything. But, I mean, Mike has got a 68, by the way. Herring's definitely been a good run D guy, according to PFF. So is Haddon, for what it's worth.
In the preseason or regular season?
Preseason. Well, Tyron Herring wouldn't obviously have any yet.
The preseason grades just like never...
Yeah,
no, there's just no correlation.
There isn't.
I by the way, I finally remembered who Kamal Haddon reminds me of.
86.
I finally remembered who Kamal Haddon's play reminds me of. And spoiler alert, it's like the one cornerback who stuck around for 1,000 years being developed. Keisean Ento.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
You said Lasita Smith? My mind tricked.
No, sorry. Maybe I said it, but we have 8 of the 10 that need to be under 2.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's look real quick here. Not Tyler Cooper. I think JJ Lippy had a good game against the Colts. So like JJ Lippy and Tyron Herring are both UDFAs from this year.
Yeah.
We just picked up Jalen Simpson like today. I don't know anything about him.
I do.
I know that I watched him a little bit leading up to the draft.
I remember Jalen Simpson.
But I didn't.
Because he was like super undersized. I want to say. He was like, I think he was the Auburn guy who was like really light, unless I'm like.
No, that sounds correct. Jalen Simpson, Auburn sounds correct to me.
Yeah, unless I'm losing my mind. What's his number?
Jalen Simpson.
38.
How did I lose him? Where the heck is he?
1 season out of Auburn. Yeah, that's right. 6 foot 180. Yeah, yes. He was the guy who was like taller but leaner. Yeah, 5'11 and 5'8", 179 at the combine. That's right. Yep. Elite everything but the size.
So we only have one wide receiver right now. So I kind of want to put Will Shepherd.
They may hang on to Simpson then. Okay.
I kind of want to keep Will Shepherd, but like we don't want to give up on Malik Heath. Like
no,
for Malik Heath, it's just a numbers.
Those are 3 guys on the squad. I think that's fine.
You think they'll keep 3 wide receivers on the squad? They don't really do that.
Well, then they gotta get rid. Well, then one of them's out of the door.
We still need one more young guy. What do we got for defensive end? We have Mosby. Dude, there's not a lot of defensive ends on the roster. Deslin Alexander, James Esther, Aaron Mosby. Like that's it for defensive ends here.
Yeah.
We got to keep a guard.
Aaron wouldn't count.
Right.
So
we have to keep a guard. And the only guards we have to choose from are JJ Lippy, and that's it. Like this. Oh, no,
unless you take Lecitus Smith, who I personally would probably keep if given the opportunity to do so.
Wasn't he with us already? Isn't this his second stint with us?
It is. He's obviously in the same class.
Coach Len says Donovan Jennings to the practice squad. What year is this for him? Is this year 2 for him?
Yes, it is.
So he counts.
Based on that experience, it would make the most sense. Yeah, that gives us 10 of the 16 being under 2 years. So we can keep
5 more.
Now you can go any direction you like.
Yeah, and I would say like a priority keep for me would be, well, it would have been, one of these 2 wide receivers would have been a priority keep for me.
Yeah, I mean, based on PFF grades, Drew, yes, Lecitus Smith had a good preseason. That's not everything, right?
We have no defensive linemen on the practice squad yet.
Yeah, I mean,
so.
O'Malley's a rookie from Northern Illinois. You could just do that.
No, O'Malley was at Toledo, wasn't he?
No, I was wrong. It's Northern Illinois.
Oh, I was the one who said Toledo. I thought he was at Toledo.
Maybe. He was not. We doing Jalen Simpson?
The guy we just signed today?
Yeah. We doing that?
I mean,
him and Herring.
We already have Baldwin and Omar Brown in the DB room. You want to keep both these guys? I'm trying to find us a defensive lineman to keep.
Yeah, it would be nice, wouldn't it?
I hear those are important.
Depends on who you ask.
Not Goody.
Well, I wasn't going to name names, but
he doesn't.
He's waiting for a truly mid class of defensive linemen. not poor, not great, but truly
just mid
in the best sense, mid. And that's what yeah.
The video where the guy screams mid, like we need a class that is deserving of that.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
Trying to find the short clip of it.
Maybe it's O'Malley.
I just Googled it and all I can find is like 37-second videos. I don't want that.
Maybe it's O'Malley.
Coach Len says, I liked James Esther, but I think we just cut him. What, today? Hold on. No, you're thinking of Keith Randolph. Keith Randolph got waived injured today.
Yeah.
We picked up Kwan Baker off waivers from the Raiders on almost a week ago now. I kind of want to keep Israel Abanikanda.
Live on the show, I am getting a trade proposal in a dynasty league.
Well, tell us.
We'll do it live.
Keep us in suspense.
Yeah, it's A.J. Brown, MarShawn, Lloyd, and Troy Franklin. Those would be the guys I would be receiving. For Puka,
smash no on that.
For Puka Nacua and the big beautiful Bill himself, Krosky Merritt.
Yeah. So essentially, you're just saying it's Puka for
Brown,
AJ, but also you have to give up a roster spot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm a smash no on that.
I'm gonna counter. I'll say you can. I will not take AJ Brown. I'll take Malik Neighbors in my counter proposal. Malik Neighbors, and you got yourself a deal.
Drew says last year we kept Deslin Alexander and James Esther on the initial practice.
Maybe they keep Alexander.
I was kind of wondering about that. Aaron Mosby doesn't count, but we don't need somebody to count.
Makes sense if they go Alexander. Probably.
Alexander has actually had some game time with us. So
has he?
90% sure.
I'll double check. Not in 24. No.
Oh, well, then he didn't. That was the year.
Yeah.
That was the year that I
He's
thought.
27? My goodness.
I'm not keeping a 27-year-old on practice squad. I don't care that we did it last year.
Goodness.
I'm putting Aaron Mosby on there.
Okay.
Aaron Mosby can play football. He's going on. How old is James Esther?
James Esther.
I might go Aaron.
23. Another Northern Illinois guy.
All right. We're keeping Mosby and Esther.
Okay. It's 14.
So we still don't have a defensive tackle.
Nope. That's your guy, though.
Well, no, he didn't play at Toledo, so I'm out.
Oh.
I'm out.
Then we simply don't have it. Yeah, I'll take the trade if Malik's involved. I was trying
Malik for Malik.
Yeah, well, this
Malik
same guy,
Neighbors for Malik Willis.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was trying to swing a trade for the 1-2 that included Neighbors with the same guy. During the rookie draft. 2 left.
1 left. I just put Lacita Smith on here.
You put Lacita on there. Okay. Lippy. No, you put another offensive lineman on there. I'm fine now. 3 offensive linemen works for me. Simpson, Herring, or
I do feel like it's one of those. Well, yeah. Simpson, Herring, or
King, Haddon.
It's probably going to be Haddon.
Du Bois.
We'll just do this.
All right. Taylor King gets the last one.
Look, we put every defensive tackle we have on the active roster.
We tried it our hardest. Yeah. They're just we still got a lot of options.
Dude, we got a freaking lot of wide receivers. Look, we got 7 wide receivers on the 53 and then 3 on the practice squad.
And we waived Sam Brown.
Yeah, and you know what?
Injury
and I still don't feel confident in our wide receiver room because I still don't know if they can hang on to the ball. They can all get open.
Here's the good news. they can just draft Makai Lemon next year. Just because.
If he's still available at pick 32, I'm good with it.
Well, he might be. Makai Lemon or Dominique Orange, defensive tackle.
Yeah, Brian Maffey was talking about Orange in the chat earlier.
Brian Maffey put like 18 names in the chat.
He did. So I do think looking at this, if they kept the 7 wide receivers on the initial 53 and then put Christian on injured reserve afterwards, I do think cornerback is where we're making an addition. I think it would be either King or Valentine.
Yeah.
It's not going to be Haddon. I still think there's a shot that Isaiah Simmons makes the roster as a special teamer. I also think there's a shot that they only keep 3 running backs. If we go back and look at running backs over the years, they have kept 4, but only 1 time in the LaFleur era.
Yeah.
They kept 2 in 2022, and then just rolled with those 2 all year.
And 2020 was the only time in the LaFleur era where it's been 4-4 running back tight end as well.
Well, that is interesting.
McCarthy's last year, it was 4-4, but yeah, LaFleur has only done 4-4 once. So,
yeah, because for a while there was this thing, okay, so we kept a fullback in 2019. That was the guy who went to the Patriots, John something. John Princeton. Anyways.
2018 is not LaFleur era. That was...
No, I said 19.
The year McCarthy is fired. Said Drew was asking.
Oh, yeah.
That was McCarthy's last season. They did not.
Look at this. The last 3 years, we've kept
double digit
10 and 11 offensive linemen.
What happened in 2012? We got some guys on the injured that started on the IR and came back. My goodness, 7?
Yeah, I think so.
Were we doing okay? Were we okay
a couple
back
weird
then?
Things.
Whoa. Never do that again, Green Bay. My goodness. Do we have a linebackers? Do we keep a linebacker on the practice squad? I don't know. No idea.
Did we? Yeah, JDJ.
Oh, yeah, JDJ. That's right. Yes, we did. Yeah, I'm assuming injury played a part in that.
There's been a couple of years where
we wouldn't make it, Coach Len. We put every defensive tackle we could on the roster. Obviously, other than O'Malley, who's like very recent. Very recent.
We picked up O'Malley today, and every other defensive tackle.
Everybody else is on it. We can't. We spared no expense. We got to bring the lunch pail guys to the trenches. We can't.
So
let me leave anybody behind.
Let me ask you this: when you look at this roster here, which areas are you still really concerned about?
Corner.
I think I still am concerned about wide receiver.
Well, there's simply nothing we can do about that.
Guard. I'm still really concerned about wide receiver and guard.
I think it's very fair to be concerned about guard. Yeah.
I just don't know that we have 2 starting guards on the roster. We have 0 guards who I feel really confident in, since we're not playing Elgton at guard. We have 0 guards that I feel confident in.
Yeah. Do be like
Coach
that.
Len says Brinson is better than Stackhouse. Interesting. I would love to hear your explanation
Maybe
for
not
why.
I don't. But like again, they're two different. Like Brinson, I want playing 3.
Sure.
More so, and then Stackhouse obviously playing nose tackle. So I mean, as pass rushers, yeah, I mean, probably, yeah, of course, Brinson's ahead of Stackhouse, but to me, they're two different positions. And we treated them as such.
I think this is a tougher 53 to project than most years. And I think injury plays a huge role in that.
The draft picks are going to be really interesting, right? We have 2 of them on the reserve injured to start, right? Like we have 2 of them. And Williams is, essentially redshirting. So, yeah, I mean, this is exactly it. Yeah, Brinson's going to get washed out more, as a 3 tech and going to get more pressure because he's, not exactly. So, yeah, this is weird. With receiver commanding so much, and then we have more defensive linemen. We did put Zane Anderson on, Coach Lynn. We did do that.
Well, wide receiver is messy because
of Watson's return.
The Watson timeline
being the only guy apparently doing the punt returning, and so that's.
And then Savion is a 3rd-round pick, so you can't
so
do anything with him except for stash him on there. So you got 3 guys here who I don't know that we think we're going to get any real contributions from them per se as wide receivers,
which is tough.
It's also tough because these 3 guys are all hurt. Tough. Reed, Doubs, and Wicks are all hurt right now.
Matthew Golden doing his best Jon Snow impression week 1, folks.
Well, look,
a year ago,
we had 1 tight end for the season, and it was Tucker Kraft. This year, we might have 1 wide receiver, and it's Matthew Golden.
Be real nice to have Matthew Golden and Ladd right about now.
There's a lot of things that would be nice. There's a lot of things that I think Goody could have done a better job with in managing this roster.
But here we are. Simply what we do.
This is coming from somebody who's been a big Goody defender for a very long time. I have a lot of recent frustrations with him. 24 and 25.
Yeah.
Coach Lynn says Oladapo goes to practice squad. Absolutely not.
We got to keep Dapo.
Oladapo is safety 3.
We got to keep him. I
don't know how you get to
he
Oladapo
might not be. He might not be
squad.
Green Bay safety 3 in their minds, but I don't know, man.
That's only because they insist on playing Bullard, and I don't like Bullard is one of those guys we're gonna have to watch them trot out there until he proves that he can't play.
Right.
Drew says Reed could get designated to return. How hurt is Reed? I thought he just had a sprain in his foot. Redshirt, one of the rookies. What rookies? Oh, like all rookies or rookie wide receivers? Like John Williams is getting a red shirt. Micah is getting a red shirt. Colin probably getting a red shirt.
Yeah.
Like Savion's not getting a red shirt.
No. Dobbs was back at practice. He was.
Catching passes. He caught a 74-yard touchdown pass today.
Yeah. We're going to need it.
Hardman had a drop. Let's see. Reed. So here's the guys today who did not practice. So Jayden Reed is out. Wicks is out. Nate Hobbs is out. McKinney, Lloyd, Zane Anderson, Jacob Monk, Aaron Banks, Savion Williams, and Barryn Sorrell are all out. Here's the guys on PUP. Watson, Oliver, and Williams. John Williams. So, yeah. It's funny. I did not look at this. I didn't know those 3 guys are on PUP, actually. Just based on what it has sounded like about their injuries, this is where I just end up sticking them. So those are the 3 guys on PUP. Omar Brown is in the hospital. You know what makes things easier?
It's a long stream. Glad we have our redacted energy.
Would be if MarShawn Lloyd, if his injury is bad enough that they designate him for return. Wow. That actually simplifies things.
Well,
it simplifies things with the 53.
Yeah, we going light at linebacker, Coach Len. Yep, that's the plan at the moment.
Well, I fought to put both of those guys on, and Jake can't see it. I think Jake only sees these four. I mean, like, who would be our fifth linebacker?
Like playing it, the position. I know it's not going to be playing the position. My guy, you're playing defense. You ain't playing. There's no defense for you, bud. Get ready to learn defense, buddy. Boy, if Sims doesn't make it,
where does the
I might lose my mind. I might lose my mind.
Where does the like him being a healthy scratch for the playoff game was like a death sentence in the minds of anybody who follows the team.
He is the only guy right now where I go, yep, he's the guy in line so Kraft can run routes, and like you hope Fitzpatrick can do that. Otherwise, I mean, when you're in 12, you know,
I'm telling you, man,
like you
other people,
earlier, JJ, I just don't.
Other people are not in the same place that you and I are at with Luke Musgrave. People think that Luke Musgrave is legit. They think he's the real deal.
I guess so. I just Sims to me.
It's the exact same deal as with like Kenny Clark.
I would love to just cut Musgrave, but I can't. We can't. We evidently can't do
Muskrat. Luke Muskrat.
Yeah.
Coach Len says Fitz can play in line. That's what I say.
It's about to be time.
I say Fitz can play in line.
It's about to be Luke Coach, Musgrave's season, right? Fall. It's coming, right? You know? So that's his time.
Coach, you're saying you only want to just keep
you want Kraft Fitzpatrick Musgrave?
Or
I think he's saying Kraft Fitzpatrick Musgrave.
Coach, do you like
Which
Luke Musgrave?
Which then, man.
Look, you're a football coach. You're looking at a tight end. Your first priority has to be, can he block? No?
That should be the thing for everybody. This should be the thing for everybody nowadays.
Don't understand it.
I'm sick of the hey, I can catch passes. It's like, okay, what else can you do? Nothing.
Explain this to me, Coach. Why Musgrave over Sims? Explain that one to me.
I would assume it's.
Tell me why Musgrave over Sims.
I think it's just simply because he's fast. That boy fast.
He's fast for a tight end. He's slow for a receiver. He can't block.
Yeah,
He also can't stay healthy. So, you got that. We already have a hospital case right here in MarShawn Lloyd that we have to keep on the roster.
I just don't think.
How is Musgrave more versatile?
I just don't think he can do anything.
Versatile, like, what's his skill set? What does he do that you like? What does Musgrave do that you like?
It's simply the seam ball for me personally. But again, we can certainly see it differently.
And I'm not trying to sound combative. I'm just asking you very directly. What does Luke Musgrave do that you like?
Like, to me, like the only like blocking you're gonna get out of him is simply, we're in zone, get to this space and just occupy it for me. That's my thing, because other than that, I feel like it's running down the seam, beating the Tampa, beating the runner in Tampa. Like, that to me is his thing. Or, the two big plays he made where he was the leak tight end on that, simply on that play. Because I don't think his breaks are quick enough where it looks at the level of what you want Wicks to be doing or Reed to be doing in the slot. Like that, I can't get there. Like, Wicks is too sharp. It's night and day versus Musgrave. Like, yeah, I get the over routes, but like, man, I like anything sharp of like, you want this slot receiver to run XYZ number of route, like the full route tree, like Musgrave's just not going to do that. Like Musgrave's routes are, to me at least, up the seam, crossers where he's given a lot of space to start and build up that speed. Like that's it. Like this is why like we were talking about this like super early on in January, February of like, hey, if Tyler Warren's available at the pick, would you pick him? It's like, yeah, 100% would. That's why we picked Loveland a bunch, right? And so,
by the way, Ben Sims was a healthy scratch in that playoff game, but he played all 17 regular season games leading up to that point. Chris.
Right, we don't. But to me, Musgrave is a big slot at this juncture. Like he's simply a big slot. And so like to me, what I think about Musgrave now, it's like, okay, what can he do as a slot receiver, essentially? Because and again, if you're tight end in 12 and you're not a blocker, you have to be as good as Bowers and Kelsey. Like you have to be that good. You have to be as good as McBride, who is even getting better as a blocker. You have to be as good as Laporta, who's getting better as a blocker. Mm-hmm. Nobody.
I would just like to see Musgrave start to get better at blocking.
Yeah, like nobody. I know, like nobody cares about this, but like David Njoku, it took time, but he's no longer just like athlete make play guy. He is. I'm using what I think 34-inch arm length to help me as a blocker and be out there full time. Like he's doing that. Yeah, Evan Ingram's probably another example, but like they have to design stuff for him, and that, drastically limits certain parts of the game to me. So yeah, I guess different body type, but like, I don't know. I just feel like he just doesn't win through contact like I'd like him to do and all of that. But like, again, I understand it. They still see it. I think Drew said it would be pretty quick to give up in a second rounder. I understand that. But yeah, I'm sure
I'd rather move on from Lloyd than Musgrave, probably.
Certainly. Coach, yeah, I get your point too. I understand. I understand where you're coming from. I get it with the Musgrave stuff because there is the level of uniqueness, but he's not quite at the ceiling of like you're just playing him like Mike Gesicki. I don't think he's quite there yet either, and that's like the thing I'm kind of more envisioning. But yeah, listen, they put themselves in this situation. They could draft Brian Branch, at that spot if they so desired. But they didn't. And, yeah, this is the deal. There's a lot of this at this position this year.
Make or break year for Musgrave. Needs to show at least some health and growth.
Like,
that's true.
Musgrave has to do that this year. Dalton Kincaid also has to do that this year, by the way, in Buffalo. Like, it's very make or break it for him. We'll see what happens to Darnell Washington in Pittsburgh because they brought in Jonnu. They've got Freiermuth on an extension. Like, I don't know what, his year is going to look like, what they're expecting from him. It is kind of a make or break it for, and even Mayer a little bit too in Vegas. A little bit of like, yeah, you're in line guy, kind of. Bowers is the type. Can you provide a little more? Can you do a little bit more? And I would lean toward the fact that Mayer can do a little bit more, and we'll probably get there. But for the other three, I think it's kind of, hey, like it's put up time. Yeah, Rodgers might like him as Mercedes Lewis type for sure. It's just weird that they brought in Jonnu. Well, it's not weird because Arthur Smith loves him, but it's just like they didn't. That's not what they needed. They needed an actual receiver. So it was, listen, don't tempt me with a good time. Chris saying we should swap Mayer for Musgrave. Yeah, no, don't tempt me with a good time. I'm in on that. So,
Drew says, pretty interesting to see 4 out of 3.4 running backs with an injured Lloyd on the list. It will be fascinating to see how it plays out. And I think the big problem is just that, like, these are our 3 running backs. And Goody's going to want to keep his pet project. Yeah. But, like, we have a football team to put together. We need to go win games.
Yeah. Look at my guy, Drew, also tempting me with a good time talking about Aronde Gadsden.
Yeah, what a good show. There's a lot of...
Yes, please.
You like both of those guys.
Listen, you don't have to tell me.
I like Luke Lachey. I like John Williams. I don't have a problem with John Williams. It's just, the back injury is brutal.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me about
Coach, we do have Amari Johnson on the practice squad. I feel like that might be one of the safest locks of the practice squad is Amari Johnson. I mean, I'm not sure who other than maybe Jonathan Baldwin you would be quicker to slot in on the practice squad than Amari Johnson. Yeah. And I would say, actually, Amari Johnson might be the only practice squad guy who we think has a chance of getting stolen. I don't think he will, but I don't know who else that we put on here. Well, Malik Heath. Heath. I think Malik Heath. And here's the question for Malik Heath is, like, assuming that he doesn't make the 53 and we offer to bring back on the practice squad, is he going to be kind of done with giving Green Bay a chance and want to go elsewhere? Because we've seen that a bunch too. Yeah, Coach. I think we're probably leaning red shirt for both of those guys.
Yeah, I would think
John Williams and Colin Oliver.
Oliver might get there as well. Yeah.
Just due to injury. Which is tough. And Colin Oliver, both of them are bummers because I think for like where they were drafted, those were the 2 most exciting picks to me in this class. Not to like sleep on Matthew Golden. Like we loved Matthew Golden.
I mean, he was to me he was the best pick. Golden was, but I get where you're coming from. Unlike exciting because we didn't talk about it as much, right? We went down the Golden path a lot. We went down the Ibuka path a lot, right? Pre-draft, like a little bit of the Tet path because there was that like slight moment where it was like, oh, Goody went to his private workout.
I mean, I think that we knew there was no chance that any of those guys were going to fall to us.
I thought pre-draft, I thought the most likely of the 4 was Ibuka. Just simply because the only question mark on his resume was playing on the boundary or not, like full time. Like it seemed like he was the most likely to fall there.
Well, keep buying stock on Ibuka though. With the injuries to Jalen McMillan in Tampa, he's gonna get significant playing time.
Listen, we should have known when they drafted Ibuka. The like Godwin thing was like, we're gonna bring you back because hopefully you can play. Right? This year, where it was like, no, this is 100% insurance. And it was like, oh, why'd they do that? It's like, no, they did that. They knew. Not that they predicted the Jalen McMillan injury, but they knew like Godwin was still coming back from a serious injury. So, yeah, it is rare that your first rounder is your best value. I think because I went through it. If y'all didn't read it, which is fair, I went on my Substack and kind of went through, who I thought the best pick was for each team, and did some other stuff for each team, and like often like half of them ish are going to be the first rounders, just because talent, fit, need, all of that kind of comes together. But yeah,
it's not usually true of the Packers.
No, it has not.
They have a unique,
not usually been true at all. No.
They have a unique need at wide receiver of they have a huge supporting cast in that room, and they just need somebody to come in and be the guy. And I think if they didn't have Golden. Let's say, Golden gets abducted by aliens tomorrow. Like, who's the guy in the room this year? It's probably Doubs, honestly. Just based on like the health situation for everybody else and the drops issues that Reed and Wicks have been having. Like, either one of those two guys gets it figured out, or it's Doubs, which is just crazy that this is, like this wide receiver room is just wild.
Okay. 15 of the 32 were first rounders for me, like as best picks. So, anyway, didn't mean to interrupt, but Ibuka was one of them, by the way. So,
well, Jake, we're at 3 hours and 21 minutes right now, so we probably need to let the good people get to bed.
I think so.
I appreciate Tool for this and Chris N for sponsoring the 53. Yeah. You did not have to sponsor 53, but I appreciate that you did. The only thing you really needed to have sponsored was a mock draft. But we had a really good time doing this. Appreciate everybody for sticking around this whole time.
Yeah. Thanks for those who came in, anytime. I know there's some people who popped in significantly after we started, but we appreciate you popping in no matter what time it is. So. In the words,
my thing is
19 days.
I'm trying to put it on screen. It's not going. It keeps saying error with your file. There was an issue with your file.
Policy.
Please try again in a little while. Not.
Wow, I guess we got to do the mock draft and then it'll come up.
No. Why won't it share? This is bad. Here. I got it.
Dang it.
We can do a mock draft next week, because let's see, is the cut down. So next Tuesday we are doing our pod like a few hours after the 53 comes out, right?
I did it.
You did what?
I just did one.
You're 53? Oh, your mock draft.
No,
mock draft.
I'm going to save it.
Put it on the screen. Put it on the screen for the good people, since it's already done. Put it on the screen for the good people, and I think they deserve it. What is that emoji? That's a cool emoji. It's a YouTube sticker.
Gosh, I have to remember how to do this. Too tired for this.
Hopefully it works for you, because it wouldn't let me share my ed policy picture. I had to. Yeah, I wish you could save just a picture to put on screen sometimes, but you can't.
Boom,
that's
done.
not a thing that lets you do.
Boom, done.
Malik Muhammad in the first round, cornerback out of Texas.
Our guy.
Edge Mateo Uyunglele in the second round. Oh, absolutely, our guy. And then tackle Caleb Tiernan from Northwestern in the third round.
Guess where he's playing? Not tackle.
No.
Guess where he's playing guard, folks.
Is he playing left or right guard for us?
Don't know. One of them. Whichever we need more. He's versatile. Muhammad's
Chris says I tried. What did you try?
Muhammad's putting on the weight. Muhammad's putting the weight on. That's all I got to say to the detractors. We're gonna make sure. So, oh yeah. He is indeed.
So cut down day is 3 p.m. Central Time next Tuesday.
Sure, I didn't.
And so two things that you need to tune into. One is on Monday, Bruce Edmonds and I are submitting our 53s. This is our annual tradition. It is a fierce competition. I think I'm 4-1 against Bruce. He thinks I'm 2-1. I think I'm 4-1. I think we've been doing this for 5 years now. We do a 53 projection battle every single year, and I got to give him his flowers. Last year, who is it? Matt from the Hey We Like Your Pod. What's his last name? Super nice guy on Twitter. I'm drawing a blank on what his last name is, but he always keeps track of everybody's 53s. Like if you're out there and you cover the Packers in any capacity and you put a 53 out there, he tracks it. And then he keeps score on like who does the best. And I think last year Bruce tied for first. So, that's hard to beat. So good job, Bruce. But on Monday we are submitting our 53s. And then on Tuesday, you come back on here on the pod. And I think we're going to have to slot in a mock draft since we can't do a 53 at that point. I think that's only fair. It's only fair. How many mock drafts can Jake fit in before I kick him off the screen? And
hold on. Someone said Jake didn't take a tight end. What's wrong with him? Hold on. I got us covered. Here we go.
That's exactly who I thought you were going to take.
Yeah, the guy who blocks, JJ. The only guy in the class who blocks right now. Okay, there we go.
Hey, they're all, they've all been underclassmen. All right. It's you gotta develop your.
I thought about it. I thought about Dominique Orange there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got to remember how to say this guy's.
I know.
Olavavenia Ioane.
Yeah, I watched him.
Olavavenia Ioane. Okay, you watched him.
He's good. He's good. He's very good. He's very good. Big fan. Watch the Penn State O-line just for him. Okay.
I'll have to check that out.
And I did watch, and I've watched a lot of Delp. We did Brian and I did a show on Sunday talking about
nice.
tight ends
Very
in 26. Nice. Delp, tight end 3 to start the process. Really good blocker.
Well, on that note, I want to say something. Olavavenia Ioane. And in the words of the late, great Mr. Ed Policy, go Pack Go.